We are recapping our experience at SDCC 2024. More cartoon collection figures are on the horizon. And is the Snake Lair in trouble? Join us as we discuss these topics and a heck of a lot more with our special guests, Mega J Retro and Danny Green Collects, right now on Toy Habits Live.
And before we go live, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael.
And I'm the Toy Sorceress, and you're watching Toy Habits Live. How's it going, Michael?
I'm doing awesome. I'm super pumped to talk about SDCC, and I totally miss everyone and just the con. So it's like getting back to work this week has been super hard. What about you?
Oh my God, it's been crazy. Like I passed out on the sofa when I got home from work today. Put it that way. I'm so tired. Just trying to get back into the swing of things and getting up at 5 a.m. It was rough.
Oh gosh, that is totally rough. But man, absolutely. We had a blast, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Oh my God, so much fun. Amazing time, meeting all of our friends there and the things that we saw, the experiences we had, the stories we could tell. Oh my God, it's incredible.
Yes. Yeah, fun stuff. Met so many people and a lot of cool stuff happened. I can't wait to dive into all that. And yeah, before we do that, let's say hi to the chat. And yeah, after we do that and say hi to the crew, we can bring our special guests on.
Awesome. Let's see who is all here. We got Pedro Ribeiro here. We got crew member Vex in Toys. We got Crackle Colonel joining us. Crew member Joshua Robbins. Crew member Frank Pryor is here. We got King Panther in the house. We got All Music Fan joining us. We got your buddy and all of ours, Toy Hunters Hollows, joining us. Crew member Halen Dread is here. Crew member MOTU D is joining us. We got Nunya Biz also in the house. Crew member Neil Hunter Hyde. As soon as his name pops up, there you are, Neil. Good to see you. We got crew member Frankie Rivera. Let's go. We also got MOTU Prince, Steve Munar, RC is joining us. We got Nolan in the house. How's it going, Nolan? Jace Traver is here. Andrew Davis is joining us. We got good friend of the channel, and we got to meet in person. It's Toy Cartel. How's it going, Toy Cartel? We got stories to tell about Toy Cartel. We had a blast at SDCC. We got Toy Monkey Customs here. Crew member Robert Ellison Drini is joining us. We got Vane at 21. Kevin Florence is also here. We got Lance. Oh, I once was Mikey. I'm so sorry. I don't have my glasses on. Lab Rat is here. Ryan Wimmer is joining us. And so many more. How is it going, everybody? And crew member Paul Morales is also here. Good to see everyone. Let's just start with saying hi to our incredible Toy Habits crew, Michael.
Yeah, sounds good. And yeah, we love our crew. Thank you so much for the support. And we had 3 new crew members join. So we have Aaron, who joined, also Daniel Bankston, and our good friend Jason Tran, who is always scoring us figures from the Mattel store in El Segundo. So awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. Jason is incredible. I'm sorry, I was just switching back and forth on cameras to see what my other camera has better lighting, but poor reception or whatever. So yes, Jason is incredible. Always, coming up with some amazing finds from the Mattel store because he works across the street. We had the opportunity to hit the Mattel store too.
We did. Yeah, that was so much fun. It's Chad just slipped in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Chad. I was on the It's Chat. I was on his channel last night and we were talking G.I. Joe, San Diego Comic-Con. It was really, really fun. I love talking with It's Chad. If you have not heard of It's Chad, go check out his YouTube channel. It's pretty awesome. He's a great guy. So thank you so much, Chad.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Chad. That's very nice of you. Our crew is just ever growing. It's incredible how big it's gotten. Thank you all for your support. I mean, we can't do this without you, and we wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for you. So we're here to hang out with you all and have a good time and share toy news. So that's what we really enjoy.
Yes, yeah, and also some of the crew was also in the chat too. So Frankie Rivera was in the chat, and so was Clint Jorgensen. He's always a hoot in the chat. So funny.
Oh my god, yeah, I I was trying to live stream some of our panels, and thank you guys for all your patience while we were at SDCC, because we were working out the kinks and figuring out how to stream live from there. I think it took us 2 days to figure out how to switch our orientation, but I was reading the comments during the Mattel panel, and you guys were cracking up.
Yes, but we hung out with some super cool people, especially two people who we have as special guests, and we hung out with them pretty much every night after the con.
Oh my god, we were partying.
so tired, so hungry, and it was so much fun. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on our first guest, and he is the one and only Mega J Retro. Please welcome Mega J to the stream.
Yay!
We need sound effects is what we need.
What's going on, guys? I literally blanked out for a second. My internet just died, and then I had to reconnect. I was like, "What's going on?"
I know. I saw you leave, and I was like, "Wait, something must have happened."
Yeah, no, literally, it just died, and then I was like, "Oh no!" And so I just ran over, plugged it back in. I'm like, "Okay, come on, let's go," and then it came back. But yeah, man, it was so great seeing you guys. It was like playing phone tag for a while, trying to figure out where we were in the building. It's like, where are you? Oh, we're over by Mattel. No, you're not. Oh, okay, we're over by Jada. No, you're not. Oh, we're over by right. We literally we were like, it was like, where's Waldo? We were like trying to find out where each other were.
If you guys followed Jay's videos, you caught the moment that we met in person on tape.
It was great. It was like,
which was amazing.
Where are they?
You
where
got
are they?
to watch that. Like you're outside your body, right? So I'm like watching the moment when we met. And I was like, it was incredible.
It was so great, right? And we also met Kevin from Toying Around there. It was a great meeting of the worlds, right? And it's crazy too, because we just kept we just kept meeting people over and over and over again at the events. It's for everybody who came and said hi, thank you. It was such an amazing experience as always, right?
It was so much fun to get to meet all of you guys, viewers of the channels. We had some viewers of the channel there in person, fellow toy tubers there, and then people from the various different industries, and we'll go through that in a little bit. But it was just that was the best part of the con, was the experience that we all had together. I think I gotta say, for me, that was my highlight.
Yes, and we have to bring on one other person that Jay was traveling with to the con. Love this guy. Please welcome Mr. Danny Green.
Yo, what up, guys? What up? What up, Michael? What up, Toy Searchers? What up, Mega J? What up?
Danny, are you still wearing your badge? You never take it off.
Yeah.
You never took it off.
Well, you know what, man? Truthfully, I had so much fun hanging out with you guys. Just the whole trip was an amazing experience and opportunity, and so amazing that I miss you guys so much, and I'm still wearing this thing. So I'm waiting till next year, guys. I'm gonna wait till then.
They'll change it out.
Yeah.
So good. Oh my
God. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me, and just an amazing time, and super appreciate it. So
of course. Really quickly, round robin. What was your experience like at San Diego Comic-Con? We'll do like a little short thing before we dive into the programming. But Jay, talk to me about your experience at Comic-Con.
This one. So this was like a whirlwind. Danny and I, unfortunately, as you guys know, this was kind of like a last minute thing. You know what I mean? Like, I actually had no plans on going this year. But the Flipboard panel came up. We got approved for a panel, and when that happens, you just take it as destiny, and you're like, okay, we got to do this, right? And then I found out you guys were going. I was like, well, hell, I got it now. I really got to do this. So I was like, all right, scrounge the money together, figure something out, right? Danny said, I literally turned to Danny. I was like, Danny, you want to go? He's like, yeah. He didn't even I swear, he didn't even wait 1 second. He didn't even think about it. He was like, all right, let's do it. We're like, really going to think of, no, let's go. I was like, holy crap. like that. I was like, wow, that's a crazy response. But he was down. He was down to do it.
Yeah. We also had one more person traveling with us and hanging out. That's my husband,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Toy Source, who's here.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
What up, bro?
Hey, how's it
Nice
going,
seeing
guys?
you, man.
See you, man.
Oh my God.
See you, brother.
We had a blast. Bill wanted to say hi. You were amazing. Such great support throughout the whole trip. He's
Oh,
not
man.
a toy collector, but you were so patient with us all and had the enjoyment of partying with the guys. So I wanted you to come by and say hi.
Amazing, dude.
How you
Thank
guys
you so
doing?
much, man. Good, man. Nice to see you again, bro.
It was fun,
Best
you
and the
guys.
worst pizza ever at the same time.
Yeah.
It was
Only took 3 hours to get, right?
3 hours of truck drivers.
awesome.
I felt like it was worth
That
it,
was the
but
tastiest. That was the tastiest pizza. That was the tastiest pizza because we hadn't eaten in like almost 8 hours. It was so
Yeah.
great,
Yeah,
and it was like all the toppings were in
I know.
the middle
most
until the left.
Decorated
Yeah.
pile of
It was-
toppings.
So if you guys are all
It's like,
wondering what the heck we're
bang! It was
talking
like-
about, it was the first night of the con after preview night, and it was probably 10:30 or so. We were all starving. So the
Yeah,
five of
it was
us come
late.
back to the hotel room, and there's no parking, so we're like, we're not going to move the car. Let's just order a pizza. And so Bill goes to look to order for something. I think most of the places around there, your typical Domino's pizza, all that stuff was closing. So you found a local pizza joint and ordered on Uber Eats. And so, on Uber Eats, you can watch when your driver is going to pick up the pie and bring it. And it gave us a time of like 11:05. Well, he sat there and he watched like 5 drivers show up to the restaurant on his app and just disappear. Or 4 drivers showed up to the restaurant in a matter, and it was like, it kept saying delayed. The 5th driver finally got the pie at it was like almost midnight by the time he actually picked it up and then brought it to the hotel. And then we watched him go in circles through the one-way streets of downtown before he delivered the pizza to us. So
And he probably got pissed and
it's
just
so
threw it in his car.
Yeah.
All the toppings ended up.
yeah, with all the ingredients just flopped in the middle.
It was still good though.
That is the okay. So funny story about that. That is the second time. I didn't tell you about this, guys. I didn't tell you about this yet. That's the second time I've had experience with pizza arriving at least an hour late. When we were in Joe Fest, Emerald Knight Photo was generous enough to actually order a pizza, and I still got to get him back for that because he ordered it on his own and he didn't tell any of us. He ordered 2 pizzas from Domino's. It took an hour and a half to get to us, and both of us were waiting outside, hunting this guy down. Yeah, we were hunting him down, and when he showed up, it literally. I turned to John and I was like, John, how far away is this Domino's? And he said, oh crap, it's only 2 there, and grabbed it. It was ridiculous, right? But yeah, it seems like every single time we have pizza in the equation, something goes wrong. It's really crazy.
Something
But
goes
you know
wrong.
what? I wouldn't have changed it. I wouldn't have changed it for the world because the stories that we had that night and everything, just the kind of things. But this is what makes for great cons, right? This is what, like when things like this happen, like stories that Danny and I have about getting into the con. Like we'll talk a little bit about that later. But my con experience, just to answer the actual question, this was the most hectic and the most memorable of all the conventions I've ever been to. And the reason being is because of you guys. All my friends who we've met virtually and now in person, and not to leave everybody out. All the Toy Habits community, everybody here, everybody in the Mega J Retro community, everybody in the Hatter community. Bump into Hatter. I just walks around the corner and says, hey, 2 a-holes I watch who make me buy toys. It was the weirdest. Again, it's just the funniest thing, right? But it's so great. And then we ended up taking a selfie with that guy too. It was amazing.
It was cool.
All right, guys. Good seeing you guys. We'll
Thanks,
see you
man.
later.
You too, man. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, man.
All right, have a good
Danny,
one. Have a good one, guys.
you too.
Yeah.
Danny, what's your hot take on Comic-Con?
Man, well, truthfully, it was overwhelming. There was lots. I felt like it was one of our Comic Cons, put it here, but like on steroids. And obviously meeting you guys and hanging out with you guys was truthfully, the best part of it.
Oh.
And I had so much fun just chilling with you guys, having Subway even just on the curb was
That's
such a
right.
good. Like man, that was memorable.
That's stuff tastes better on the sidewalk, right?
Right?
Yeah.
And
We
There's
almost-
Chipotle with no
and,
We
chips.
almost got run over. I mean, like, that guy was
Yeah,
ready to run
man.
us over. He was like, you guys are my spot.
he was like, get out of the, and then he didn't even park. But anyway, what a ding.
Or the
But,
pizza comes and we look at each other. Who has plates? No one has plates.
But
Like, let's eat it out of the box.
yeah, man, and all of it was just amazing. But
yeah.
like the toy hunting, trying to get the exclusives,
You guys were maestros at that. Come on.
Oh my god, they gave you those like ginormous bags you can basically live inside. They're huge.
Man, yeah.
You can quite literally, you can stuff a whole person in there. Like it's they're that big. They're that big. They're freaking
enormous.
huge.
Mhm.
Danny, do you have one beside you? That would be you should. Show
Oh,
it
you
off.
know what? I have to pull it out. That's the one thing I didn't bring right this moment. I was like, I need this. The pass was the most important thing for me. But
I'll grab it later. I got mine in the corner over there. I'll go grab
there
it.
you go. The pass.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
but we've also talked about maybe doing it again or some group thing or what. I don't know, right? But
every year, come on.
I'm down. Like,
Yeah.
If PowerCon happens next year, we all have to go. Like seriously, PowerCon is another one of the great cons. You know what I mean? Joe Fest is a lot of fun too. But but let's not talk about other cons. Let's just talk about this con because there's so much to talk about. This
Yeah. So speaking of experiences, Michael, you can pull up that slideshow. We had such a blast. So Michael came down a couple days early, and we spent the weekend toy hunting. Jumped in the car and started our journey down to San Diego. And Michael, you can tell him a little bit about the TC Rockets. I think the toy store we went to. We did a live stream there.
Oh yeah. You found this amazing place that was out of the city, and TC Rockets was they had everything. They had cartage shows, MOTU, Star Wars. I mean everything. Vintage Silverhawks, like anything you could want in this huge store. And it was really fun to actually get to practice going live on our phones because we'd never done it before. So it's like,
I know we still did work out the kinks for a couple of days, but it's all good.
Got better and better each time. So
yes,
but it was fun.
Exactly. And we had a wonderful experience when we got to the con. We met our toy tour friends. We ran into Jay from Geek Dead Life. Of course, Mega J was there. Lots of our friends, Danny, that we met. But we had a blast. And you can go to the next slide. While we were there, there's so many cool people we got to meet at the con. You can say a few words and then I'll dive in too.
Yeah, we got to meet Teddy, who's the executive producer of the Masters of the Revolution Netflix series. That was unreal because he came up to us and it was like, I watch your show all the time, and like it was like, you didn't even know us. That was the most like unreal thing that happened there. Aside from like all these great people.
Absolutely, Teddy's great. I think I was on a live stream with him once on Kayla's channel on Geek the F Out. So I got to talk to him that one time. He's such a fun guy. And then you can go through a few of these others, but it was incredible. And then I'll dive in too.
Yeah, we got to meet Paul G, who is in the chat right now. He has a YouTube channel called Tea with Paul G, which is awesome. So it was fantastic to meet him. We got to say hello to Lenny and Emily and get a picture with them. It was fun to talk to them. And of course, Pixel Dan. And who is that person with the Ernie and Bert down there?
So that is actually Mark Huckabone. He is a renowned vintage toy vendor, but not only is he a renowned toy vendor, he is pretty much best friends with Jordan Hembrow. For any of you who watch the Toy Hunter series on the Travel Channel, it was on years ago. There's 3 seasons of it. Jordan used to go hunting for toys all over across America. And so Mark was kind of his nemesis and friend he'd run into. He was like the Mego expert guy. He had an incredible booth. at Comic-Con. And not only that, Jordan Hembrough was hosting for Hasbro Pulse. He did a whole bunch of live streams if you watch the Hasbro Pulse channel. And so I saw something in Mark's booth. I didn't know Mark was going to be there, but I saw a Sesame Street Fisher Price playset. There's a photo of it later on. It's the same playset I had when I was a kid. I used to play with it with my sister. I have super fond memories. It's one thing I was always wanting to hunt down. And I peeked my head into the booth to ask how much it was. And Mark was up on the table. I'm like, I know you. I know that guy. I know that dude. And we instantly like bonded. He was such a nice guy. I bought these vintage Bert and Ernie's from him. I ended up buying a bunch of stuff from his booth, but he was the nicest guy. And he even said, well, you got to meet Jordan. And he tried to call Jordan down. Jordan went to his booth while we were in line for the Mattel panel, and they called me from his cell phone. He's like, Jordan's down in my booth. You got to get down here. I'm like, I can't leave the line. Mattel panel is about to start. So I did get to talk to Jordan on the phone. We didn't get to connect during the con, unfortunately, because he was super busy. But Mark, big shout out to you. You're an amazing guy. And it's just so many awesome vintage toys in his booth. And, meeting Pixel Dan and Lenny and Emily, that was great. And of course, Teddy, he is such a card. He's such a blast, such a happy guy. I really love him. It was great.
Jay, did you run into any of these chuckleheads at the con?
Yeah, you know what? I ran into so many people. I ran into Lenny. I actually brushed against Emily. She was taking, Emily's a fireball, eh? She literally takes charge.
Oh, yeah.
She was literally like the lineup to actually get exclusives. It was getting out of hand. She literally just ran into the crowd and said, "Everybody to that back!" She shoved everybody onto the freaking wall and basically said, "This is here's how you do it. Just order. Here's the order sheet. Stay in line. Don't move." She just kept honestly, she's a little fireball. Awesome. Yeah. Dan and I ran into each other a bunch of times. You know what? Danny and I were going place to place. And I think at one point I collapsed. I was on the floor.
Oh no!
And I decided at that point, I'm like, yeah, my legs have just given out. Let me just charge my phone at this outlet, which I happened to claim. I just claimed this outlet. I was like, I claimed this outlet for my own. This is my outlet, and we kind of just sat there for a while. And then what happened was, Toys, Noise, and Action Figures actually walked right by us and said, "It's Jay." I'm like, oh my god, now I got to get up. So I got up because I didn't want to be that guy who's like sitting down, people are talking down to you. I don't like that. I like standing up and having conversations with people, right? So Danny decided to stay on the ground. It was hilarious. So Noise, Ruckus actually sat down with him and just had a conversation. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Whereas myself and Reg, we just decided to have a little bit of a powwow. And that's actually when I missed going with you guys to actually get signatures for the posters. And I regret that because I would have loved to have a moment to just say thank you to Ted, because what he's done for Master Universe is amazing. And I hope to meet him one day, because really he's keeping the dream alive. Yes. And Dad at Arms actually posted something recently. I don't know if you guys saw that, but we can talk about it a little later. But apparently, there's still more MOTU animation in the works, according to his statement. And I wonder how true that actually is, because I would love to find out a little bit more about that. But anyway, of course, I met Paul. We're right there, right?
Yeah.
Right. But I met so many great creators.
Yes.
And whenever I meet somebody, I always do my best to actually do, especially if they have their own channels. I do my best. Oh, then of course, I met every one of these, and so, again, shockingly, I think the biggest surprise for all of us as toy tubers and creators is that all these people watch us.
Yes,
I think really just that was that moment where you're like, what is going on? Like designers and marketing and just the industry in general is actually saying, hey, I watch your stuff all the time, and literally you're like sitting back like, I'm just a dude on the internet. What are you talking about? You watch us all the time. Like, this is crazy, right? But it was so great to meet all these amazing folks and really connect with people you admire from afar. You know what I mean? and then finding out that they actually listen to what you have to say. It's incredible. It really is just an amazing experience.
Oh, totally.
And Danny actually got to give away and connect with a lot of people too. Danny, I think that was a big thing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like
100%, man.
That was awesome. Yeah,
Danny, what was your highlight of who you got to meet down at San Diego?
There's a few people, but Shartimus Prime was one of them, definitely.
I love that name.
So I used to watch him grow, like just starting out in this whole thing, right? And he's been around for a long time, so to see him in person was kind of cool, right? It was very hectic, so we ran around a lot, trying to get the exclusives, LineCon, that whole thing, right? So did a lot of that. But yeah, like in terms of highlights, again, it was for me was the announcements, even the things that, like at Mondo, we got to see some things that nobody had seen yet, in a sense, right? So like that was kind of cool, right? And we got to network with some of the like marketing people and the people in operations and learn about things, how they operate and whatnot, right? So that was really cool. And again, I forgot to say Toy Cartel, Mario, and his brother, they treated us as well, and that was a huge thing for us too. That was like one of the best dinners of my life. Truthfully, I had so much fun. Sat beside Michael, and we were just talking shit and part of my language. But we had such a good time, good laugh, like. Yeah, so
also Renders Effects was there as well.
Render Effects too.
$10 super chat. It was awesome to talk with all of you amazing people this SDCC. Here's the next year. Yes, Renders Effects, amazing person. So lucky that I got to meet him and talk to him over dinner and at the con. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, we do have a little bit about that. We got to meet the team at Mattel. All these guys were great. Roy Hors is, of course, as you know, in that top photo there, the packaging art director, in charge of all of MOTU. He's always posting, all these obviously package reveals. Roy is incredible, such a talented guy, such a nice guy. So we got to spend some time with him and the rest of the team over there at the Mattel booth. All of these guys are just so talented, and it was just fun getting to talk to them. And incredible that they watch our channel. They were like picking our brain about stuff, which was really cool. Just asking our opinions. So that was a lot of fun. It really was. Go ahead, Michael.
It was really fun just talking to them just as people. Like they're people who do a really fun job, and it's really nice that they actually spend time. Like I think Terrence spent like 20 minutes talking to me about Masterverse. I was like, I was in hog heaven.
I talked to them too. Talked to him too for like quite a long time. It was, I had an interesting conversation with the team there, talking about maybe another idea for a crossover, but that's for another show. And before we keep going, I just want to say a big hello to the Baroness of Toys. Thank you for joining us. We were on early because Michael has some plans with friends tomorrow night, and then also a big hello to Turtles Toy Box as well that jumped in. And since we're taking care of business here, I'm trying to find this Joshua Robbins celebrating 9 months. And can you pull up Ryan Cole gifted 10 Toy Habits memberships? There it is. Thank you. I was trying to find it. Thank you, Ryan. You are super, super sweet. That is really nice. So 10 of you in the chat are going to get Toy Habits memberships. And that is really, really nice of you. We had an amazing time. We'll just run through the rest of these slides, and then we can start going over toy news.
We met so many people. Black Angus from Toy Kind of Mood, Paul, of course, who is in the chat, who's with Cobra Commander, Phoenix, who is in the chat. Also, the man who runs the Thundercats Now Instagram and Facebook page, Laser Pants, who has the 3POA podcast, and Reg from
Toys and Action Figures.
Toys and Action Figures. I was looking for my notes. I was like,
No, you're good. It was wonderful meeting all these people. And really, the highlight of the trip was, of course, the honor of getting to participate in the Flip Or panel. Being part of the SDCC panel, we got invited by Mega J and Mad Hatter. That was so kind of you to include us in that. And just to be able to be on like the other side of the table, like I kept my sign. I'm not getting rid of this. To be on the other side of the table the panel at SDCC was priceless. So thank you to you and Hatter. It was great. It was great.
That was fun.
Your thoughts, Michael? On
I thought that was great. Like that was the first panel that I've ever been on at SDCC. Like I've been on panels for work, but like this was so much more fun.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah, it was. It not enough time. Not enough time. I worked on a whole PowerPoint, and we really only got through about 2/3 of it. There was a whole lot more that Hatter and I wanted, and you know what? It's not like we didn't try.
Yeah.
The poor AV guy. He gave us another 5 minutes, and Hatter just took like 20 minutes.
I was gonna say he took like 20.
It was he took he gave us 5. He took 20. I was like, at one point, I was like, God, we got to stop. Like there was.
We gotta get out of here.
It was crazy because we were the last panel in there, but I didn't realize there was actually programming still happening after the panel.
Yes.
That was really weird. He should have told us that, because then I would have done a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it was just so much fun. We had every like as much of the Flipboard team that could make it. We were there. Renders was there. Hatter was there, myself. And we really, and it was great too, because I had enough time to get little videos from Gilly and from Mr. Home Arcade. And I'm recutting the video now with subtitles. I was able to get the transcript from YouTube, and I'm also going to include the ramen toy video, which I couldn't get into the presentation. So that's fun too. And then obviously this longer version will actually have all the other little segments I wanted to put in. So once that's ready, I'm gonna send it over to Hatter. He's gonna post it, and it's also going to be on our up and coming Champions of Unfairity YouTube site, as well as our Champions of Unfairity website, which I can't talk too much about that now, but stay tuned, guys. We're going to have a lot more news. But I really want to thank Michael and Toy Sorcerers for giving us some insights into the whole situation, because there was a lot of naughty things going on, and of course, Flipper Frank managed to crash the party too. That was hilarious,
right?
That was that guy, man. Just that guy. Can't believe it. He manages to sneak in everywhere. It's just crazy.
Totally.
Renders. By the way, it was so nice meeting you and your wife. You guys are the sweetest people in the world, and thank you so much for the time. Yeah. Here's a small kick forward to next year's Uber ransom fees. Thanks for all you
escalated pricing, like escalated pricing. Oh my God, it was crazy. I think after all is said and done, I think Danny and I spent about $160 in Uber fees. It was crazy.
Wow,
it was nuts.
That's actually not bad.
No, it's really not.
Coming from California. So.
Yeah, it's really not. But at the same time, it's just that thing that you don't really want to worry about, right? Yeah. Danny and I actually at one point, I think Danny was like, "Wait, we should just get a car." I was like,
I was at one point like, "Let's get a car, man."
Where do you put it? That's the problem.
Yeah.
There's no
yeah.
Where do you actually put the damn thing?
Oh, down.
We had a car. We still had to Uber.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not broken into. There's just a lot of things that happened during that time. It was crazy, but Danny and I learned a lot of tricks, and we'll definitely be talking about how to survive Comic-Con. Danny and I got tips. Danny and I got tips on how to survive Comic-Con as a Canadian. A Canadian Comic-Con trip, like we know how to survive now. Like next time we're gonna be ready.
You know what we all need is one of those stupid little folding chairs or whatever that you stick in your bag, because there's nowhere to freaking sit out there.
If you watch my first video, Danny, remember, like almost like 5 or 6 guys had those little circles. Yeah. They're like mushrooms.
Yeah,
they're like full up and like awesome stuff.
Yeah,
seriously, everybody, I'm gonna buy one of those things.
You realize
they were pros
when we were standing in line waiting for the con to open on preview night. We had to stand in the same spot for about an hour and a half, and all these people started pulling out their little mushroom seats, and your legs start to get tired because you're not moving. And I'm like, damn, we should have got one of those. I look at Amazon, I'm like, it's too late.
Smart.
We can't get this shipped over. But yeah, those were absolutely essential. And the funny thing is, when we were in line, we had Kyle Peterson was like 2 people back, and then the next line over, the group from Toy Anxiety was there, and then Jay from Geek Dead Life showed up in the next line over. It was just like this little Toy Tuber reunion, and then we met the guy from Thundercats Now in line as well, just in the first hour of waiting to get into the con. That's how we started the show.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really fun. Render's Effects, by the way, is the handsome man with the beard on the left side of this group shot here. So very cool dude. And speaking of which, more cool dudes, here is our little Toy Tuber dinner, which was awesome. So nice that that was arranged, and so many great memories from that dinner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's great meeting Hatter too, definitely. Man.
Yeah,
Hatter was so much fun to meet in person. And we got to meet Toy Cartel, and of course, Renders was there, and Mega J was there, and Danny was there, and Toy Cartel's brother was also there. We had an amazing meal, a wonderful dinner. It was just nice, kind of unwinding. This was Friday night, I believe. Yeah, after several days of the con, and we were all exhausted, so it was nice just to have like a great meal, and just relax.
Oh man. So good.
Absolutely. Huge shout out to Toy Cartel, his brother, and Derek, who were incredible hosts. Derek. Incredible hosts, and could not like. I think honestly, this weekend definitely humbled all of us. I think just by who reached out to us, who said hi. And just everybody who's, again, whether they be industry professionals or people who watch the show, or like people who just wanted to say, hey, let me buy you a beer or something. You know what I mean? It was just so humbling to really sit down and really connect with people you've only really sort of touched and reached out to on the internet. I feel I personally felt so humbled by the whole experience. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
It was the highlight of the whole weekend for me. It was getting to meet all you guys in person, spend time just bonding, hanging out, doing our silly things that we were doing, running around, getting dinner, seeing stuff at the show. And meeting you guys in person. Like Hatter's like a lot taller than I thought he would be. It's like you see us like we're in a box, right? So it's like you're a full size person. And Hatter's hilarious. So shout out to him as well. He's such a nice guy. It was just so wonderful. And then hanging out with you, Mega J, and Danny. Like Danny, you have you crack me up. Like you are such a fun guy. Like we were just having a blast. Like. The memories that we created this past weekend were incredible, and we're definitely going to be there again next year. But that's what it's all about. Is really, we saw some cool things at the show, but getting to actually hang out with all of you guys, bonding, creating those memories, just hanging out and going through the experience of being at Comic-Con was the best. Was absolutely the best.
That was awesome.
Yeah, much love. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Also saw some more folks just randomly at the con too. I don't. Toy Sorcerers, do you want to tell us who's all?
That first box is Mark Huckabone and of course Jordan Hembro. That's when they called me on the phone and I was in line at the Mattel panel. Jordan says, "Oh, we're sending you some photos to use on your site or something like that." So the two of them did make some silly pictures and like text them over to me. It was hilarious.
Nice.
So I was kind of cracking up. And of course, when we were in the Hasbro panel, Sergeant Slaughter surprised us all and came out to introduce the Triple T and the Transformer crossover with Cup, which was really awesome. And when we were in the Mattel panel, of course, we had all these amazing voices of She-Ra, the voices of Orca were there, the voice of the actor who played Blade, and others. They were there signing after the panel, and also Sergeant Slaughter was signing some pictures. I think maybe on Friday or Saturday. And I even got to take a picture with He-Man. Look at that. He was there too.
Toy Cartel was saying Derek was in the chat, and I'm guessing, Derek, correct me if I'm wrong. If this is you, please tell me if this is you or not.
Yeah, that is Derek.
Thank you again for dinner, my friend. It was so nice.
Yeah, man.
So
yes,
nice.
thank you so much for dinner. Derek, you're such an incredible host, and so lovely meeting you, fellow toy collector. Amazing that you put that whole thing together. I mean, so awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you, Derek.
Yes, and then we have.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you.
Toys too at the
and just to round this off, just a couple photos of some of my toy hunts that I picked up. I got really nice carded Mego chips of Ponch and John. In the center, you can see there the Fisher Price Sesame Street playset. And then I picked up these two really nice carded Evel Knievel stunt cycle sets. So it's like Evel Knievel in his racing team one, and then the adventure outfit where he's in his little Arctic gear. That one's actually really rare. So it was awesome that I found him on card. All of these I got from Mark Hugabone's booth. Thank you so much, Mark. I've got him next to me. And of course, Mark called these his two babies since I have them next to me. I absolutely love these vintage Bert and Ernie's. We had a blast. So it was wonderful.
That's awesome. So the actual con, interestingly enough, this is how it started for us. So we got an email of a picture like a couple hours before preview night, and from somebody that we don't know. It's just somebody who is just, I think, quickly snapping pics because it's really hard to see what's in the background. But I think this was kind of cool because we were like, what the heck is what's in the Turtles of Grayskull display? I don't know any of these characters, and so it was kind of really cool to see that happen a couple hours before preview night. I was like, whoa, this is going to be cool.
Yeah, so we were furiously trying to get that put together, which it was awesome.
Yes, it was totally cool. And yeah, Mattel had a fantastic offering this year. So we got to attend their panel, which I've never attended actually any panels at Comic-Con because I've been there before. I just look at the toys, but I guess since we were covering news, I was like, oh, I guess we should go to some panels. But we actually we sat next to Jay in this panel too, because man, the line was so huge, and I was surprised the room was so tiny for this panel. Yeah, like it should have been like 3 or 4 or like 5 or 6 ballrooms big for how many people wanted to get in on this thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, if honestly, not to take away anything from like it was a decent sized room. It really was. But if it wasn't for you guys, we would, like, Danny and I would not have gotten to that room. That's impossible.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, you guys,
we literally were all the way in the back, and all of a sudden Toy Star comes and says, "You're with our group. You just should come on." And I'm like, okay. So we just dash over there.
I'm like, where the heck's Jay going? I'm like, I'm gonna get these guys.
I know. I was with the camera. I was like, "Hey guys!" And I went all the way back. And you guys aren't gonna make it. Just come over here. I was like, "Okay, no problem." And so we ran in there. And again, it was really so kind of you guys. And the announcements that were made, blew our collective minds. It was so much fun.
So so we saw all the stuff that they announced in the booth, but there's one thing that we didn't see, and it was the thing that they announced at the very end of the panel that, like, I lost my, and I'm just gonna say, I lost my shit, and you guys probably did too.
Yeah,
that's it right there.
100%.
Oh my god,
that blew my mind. And the thing was, I really was oblivious to it because I think Toy Story was the one who clued in first. She's like lightning, thunder, oh my god, and the rest of us were
I was
just
like, Thundercats, gotta be Thundercats.
I don't get it. Like, what's going on?
It went over my head.
Yeah, there's like boom. We're like, what the hell?
It was thunder in the beginning for the first like 15 seconds, right?
Yeah. It was crazy. It was absolutely bonkers, and we all lost our collective minds. It's crazy. Travis Toy Kind of Mood is in the chat, and what up, Mega J? Seems like you were awfully busy at the con. How the heck did we not run into each other? That's a really good question. Did you guys run into Travis at all? Because I did not see him at all. So I don't know, brother. So. Like I saw you had an interview with the Hasbro team. So that was awesome. You know, great stuff. But
yeah,
I
I did run into Travis. So yeah, we met. Yes, and he's very tall.
Yeah, he's
like,
very tall.
and just super cool, like
That's
super cool dude, like super positive. I love meeting him. That again, that was one of the highlights. Meeting Travis there too. So that was awesome.
So Frankie says, you did a great job holding it down during the SDCC thing. Thank you. It's funny because during this panel, and my sincere apologies, this is when we still couldn't figure out how to reorientate our camera horizontally. So I had a selfie stick and I was trying to go like this and stream in the room for all of you. And I kept getting people come like, oh, like, I don't know if I was supposed to hold the stick or be doing it, but I'm like, I got to stream for our viewers. Like, you guys need to see this because it's amazing. So thanks for your patience, because I know it was very wobbly because my dang arm was getting super tired of holding the stick in this direction. But it was cool. And you guys that were in the chat that day were like cracking me up. It was so cool. It was super tiny because it was on my phone, but I had a blast just like reading your comments as the panel was going on.
My gosh, can you imagine? Displaying these figures with your cat's lair too, and like intermixing? So funny.
I am over the moon that we're gonna get 5.5 inch scale Thundercats MOTU crossover figures. Like, I can't even tell you. That's gonna be amazing. And we're gonna put a pin in this because I had a couple of the people at Mattel pick my brain to think of what's another really great property crossover. And at the moment, I couldn't think of it, but we are going to put together a poll. We want to hear your guys' opinions on it because Mattel's listening to the fans. They want to know like what we're interested in, which I think is like so cool. So, we can all help shape like maybe the next crossover that's coming out. But this one's going to be amazing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Awesome.
It's pretty crazy. Like if we're gonna start talking about the feedback that the Mattel's starting to ask. It's I don't think in the history of toys, companies actually asking real questions to fans. I think that this is a first. Normally it's like, which of these 4 would you like to vote on? Which of these fan votes are your choice? But of course they're narrowing the field because they're like, okay, we can do this budget for you. But now we're actually getting real questions. How much do you want? Like how much is this price a little bit too much? Is that price a little bit too much?
Which brings us to the elephant in the room, or the big ginormous nuclear.
They did this last night and buried it in an Instagram story. And so I don't know if people realize, but an Instagram story just lasts 24 hours. And so I was like, we need to have this survey last a little longer. And so I grabbed the link and we just threw it in the article. But yeah, this was a very interesting survey, a very interesting tactic, and it just tells me that Mattel might be a little concerned about the snake lair at this point.
Yeah, I think so they unveiled the snake lair while we were in the panel because it was covered up in glass under that black tarp over at the booth. And at first we're like, oh, that's really cool. But I think what took us all aback was when they showed the photo of it next to Eternia. And then, because we hadn't seen it in person yet. And then all of a sudden we were all like, whoa, like that thing's huge, right? So it's not, I mean, it was cool. It had all these parts and stuff, but it wasn't what we voted on, right? For the fan vote. What we voted on for the fan vote was more of a, Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain-ish clamshell sized playset. And what they delivered was, pretty massive.
Yeah, it was pretty big. I mean, it was super impressive to see it at live Comic-Con, and I watched the unveiling, and it was so cool because basically what I got to see was the back of it get unveiled because they wouldn't let anybody stand in front of it. So we got to see the pictures or just get up close without the glass on it for a little bit while they were trying to finagle all the glass and remove that. So I was taken aback. I was kind of in awe of just the massiveness of it and
the girth.
Yeah, girth. Yeah, girth man.
Yeah,
it's a chunky boy. Guys, what did you think?
During the presentation, you know, I felt that, you know, everyone was waiting in with bated breath to find out, you know, what they were going to unveil. But you know, all of us had pretty much aspirations that it was going to be the snake lair. I mean, I think just like the Rattler, they didn't really keep it a secret, right? Like we were all basically like, yeah, this is what it's going to be. But I think I did not expect it to look like the conceptual drawings. That was really a sketch, you know, really quick, right? It was even the way the faces are laid out, the way the snakes are laid out. It's kind of like, oh yeah, we just want to show something really quick. But I think a lot of people were expecting, because the backing cards showed something, you know what I mean? They showed something. I think a lot of people were expecting something closer to what was in the illustrations.
Yeah.
I think what finally got unveiled, as big and as grandiose as it is, especially when you think about it, it actually comes with a vehicle. That I think is amazing. It actually comes with a full-size vehicle.
It is.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
it is really cool, and the great thing is it's detachable, so you can take that big thing off of.
Exactly. But I think a lot of us also were somewhat, well, I can't speak for anybody else outside of me, but I did talk to a few people, and I think a lot of us are like, there are a lot of ideas in this playset.
Yeah.
And they did their best to pull all of them into this playset. For better or for worse, that's actually what they did. And you can see all of the ideas are in this playset, right? So yeah, there's a lot going on. Like when we go to break this down, there's a lot, and I mean a lot. There's idea after idea after idea, and I've never seen this many ideas in one playset before. This is a lot. Like that's I just keep coming back to it. This is a lot.
Yeah, and also the colors too. It's like the color pattern and the color palette. Like you're not used to seeing all these different colors. It's like basically Castle Grayskull was it was like a mute green, and that's pretty much what you got for Castle Grayskull. You know, Eternia, of course, had 3 different towers, and they all had their color schemes, but it's basically throwing all those color schemes in one playset.
Yeah. It's a visual frenzy. It's a visual frenzy. Like it's there and it exists, and you don't really know where to look. I think I have an easier time looking at the front of the playset than I do in the back. The back really just like like you literally are lost for a second. It really takes a second to figure out where you are on the back.
Yeah, totally. Puna, if this funds and you get it, I will happily take the vehicle from you, because that's pretty much all I want from this business.
I believe,
if it was like maybe one section or something like that, it wouldn't have been as big. Like you literally could have lopped off like the left side, and I would have been okay with it.
I think I think that they were really trying to make it into a complete tower, because when it actually collapses, right, it literally folds over, and I think they really were thinking design aesthetically that it was like a snake where it could actually wrap around itself. And I think that's actually what they were hoping for, right, to give it that snake-like motif. And I appreciate everything that they've done with this playset. But
ton of work into this.
But you know, the question has to be asked: is it a little too much? Like I think that, like, as much as I appreciate this, as much as I love the design, I mean, the way they made the cracks in the jail cell, those things look amazing. I mean, like, I've never seen that much detail in just the fissures that are on the side of the playstyle when you remove the snake. It just looks freaking incredible, right? So a lot of things going on here, so much. And when you really break it down,
the thought on everything going on the inside, all of the way that they incorporated snakes into the playset, like, you know, obviously Lady Slither has snakes, you know, surrounding her throne, but then the whole back panel, it has all sorts of snakes carved into it. Underneath that big green snake head is for a prisoner, you know, to be held captive, and those are snakes instead of chains like that would wrap around instead of like handcuffs. So there's snake cuffs that they used. There's snakes all over this thing. It's incredible the thought that they went to, the amount of detail that they put in there. The working elevator, that whole control room on the left hand side is amazing. That little what do you call that chamber, Michael, that you pull out?
It's like the tech. It's like the tech side of the this one down here, the Iron Maiden. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, the Iron Maiden chamber as well. Snakes on the accessory rack, on the weapons rack. Just the amount of detail. I gotta give it to the team that they did a lot of work. They put a lot of thought into this. It's an amazing playset, and I think absent of all of us having Eternia and making the space in our toy rooms for it, this would have been incredible. My first thought is, it's really cool, and even that $300, it's not terrible for a crowd fund. Where am I going to put it? That's my thought. And I think maybe a lot of collectors are thinking the same thing, because we don't have room for 2 ginormous playsets.
Yeah.
I'm backing this. I'm still backing it. There's a lot of things to be said about, where are you going to put it? How is it going to man? Like as JFK geek that like
J problem.
That's a future J problem, right? It really is. The and not for anything else, but I just love this. I mean, I there's a lot going on, and if you actually take the time, if you were like anybody who was actually there, congratulations, because it's a feast for the eyes. It's hard to concentrate on what you're looking at, and really, because there's so many people around at the same time, it was hard to really take in everything that was there.
Yeah.
But when the majesty of it, the grandioseness of it, the everything about it was just freaking incredible. And I understand, like, not like when you put this side by side Eternia and you actually see the size relationship of it, it's scary. It actually is incredibly scary. But it does actually pivot at 2 points. You can actually fold it to make it fit anywhere you really want to, because as you can see here, this one, it's a complete tower. It folds into a nice compact tower. So there are options to actually have this on your display shelf. But if you are one of those people who want to see the grandiose of it, you want to put it on a Lazy Susan, you want to spin it around, like a lot of people have done with Castle Grayskull classics. That's still an option too, right? But man, I want to see this happen, and I think that the survey might have. There's something about the survey that's weird. I think that the survey helps and hinders at the same time. I think that I think that they need to refine the survey a little bit, because it's a bit ambiguous. Like the questions that were asked were a bit strange. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, Michael, do you have the survey? Can we go through it? Like,
I think I can pull it up.
I think we should.
I
think
while you pull that up, there's a little bit of conversation back and forth on the.
I think they closed it.
I've got it.
Already it, so.
I'll share my screen. I'll share.
If you guys remember, Eternia was like $500 and some odd dollars. It was a lot more expensive than this is going to be.
I think once you take it, they close it. I think. But if you want to share my screen, Michael.
Oh yes, sorry. There it is.
Yeah. So guys, once you click on if you head over to Toy Habits, if you haven't taken the survey yet, please do. Please take it. It is important because it helps to give them an idea as to what people are interested in. So basically, it gives you the whole 9 yards about what they were thinking, how they put this together. It talks about the dimensions as well. It talks about future features. Shows the pictures of the lair itself. I mean, like it is gorgeous.
Really
it really
cool.
is. It's absolutely insane. Right, all the feet. Like you can keep looking at this for hours and still not find everything. It's that cool, right?
I kept having to go back to the booth and take pictures because
so exactly. And
I went 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
One thing I always have to say about this, that freaking ladder, it's like the Deadpool of MOTU, man. It shows up everywhere. It's the one thing. As sophisticated as the technology is with Eternia,
You know they're gonna shove a ladder in there somewhere.
they always
That
need a
ladder
rickety
is gonna show
ladder,
up.
which is made of bamboo and freaking like timber, tinder, just barely hanging on.
And these big hulky guys are supposed to be climbing up that.
Yeah, this thing can support a 300-pound individual. You know what I mean? Like, right?
Not
But
gonna happen. Like
you see the
baby,
blood.
but not the rest of these
I
guys.
love the blood coming out of the freaking fangs.
Yeah.
Like such
Oh my god.
such rich
lot
detail.
of cool design stuff in this.
So
place.
much detail in here. So much
I love
thought
the-
went into this.
I love the computers. Like all that that amazing fantasy stuff.
So much.
The holding chamber, all this crazy. That's a
Snakes.
torture rack.
More snakes.
That is a torture rack, guys.
Yep.
Look at those torture devices. Like, oh my god, this is not for kids, man. And then of course, somebody is a fan of Star Trek because that is the Gorn. All right, that is the Gorn. Okay, and the Gorn's got laser pistols in his. I didn't even notice that.
Why not?
Coming out of his fangs. Yeah.
Did you guys see that? It's got,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say that they stole that from Serpentor because that's actually in this. In
Probably.
No, it is. I just watched
is
the G.I. Joe movie last night. That's funny.
Okay,
funny.
so
right.
here's the actual survey itself, and I don't know. It just seems like I'm not going to say that these are arbitrary questions, but I think that they're trying to gauge something.
Yeah.
So the first question is overall, how excited are you about the Snake Lair crowdfund? Cannot wait, not sure, or not a fan, right? So really straightforward to the point question. The second one is, and this one is kind of giving you more or less an expectation. Like this actually gives me a real big expectation right here. If the price were set at $300 USD, excluding shipping and handling, would you back this project based on what you know today? That's really
That's the $1 million question, right? And for by this point, Mattel has already done pricing research and they know how to do pricing research. So this question was out of left field for me because it's a moot point already. They already know what they have to sell this thing for. They've already done the research to determine what features go along with this price point. So it was kind of a weird question to me. And I do research for a living, so I scrutinize these surveys all the time. And the first question was a very oddball question. It's very general. And they should have had some more questions like, what do you think of the design? What do you think of the size? Did it match your expectations? Like if they're going to throw a really quick survey up here, like they could have added a couple more questions just to get some more insight into more of the overall picture, not just excitement and the price, because there's really more to it than that.
Yeah, and what they actually end up doing is and this is where they're making it harder on themselves, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because now they're actually telling you which features of the set are you most excited. Holy crap! All those are going to be like mixed bags, like all over the place. So what you're doing in my opinion anyway, what you're doing as a researcher is basically saying, all right, now I got to go through 3,000 surveys and organize who likes this, who doesn't like this, who likes this, who instead of actually just telling people, did you like this, did you like that,
and coding questions 3 and 4 as a researcher is a nightmare because you have to go through each one, make a code for it, and then see if other codes match up with the same codes to see like if people collectively think about the features in the same way, if they have the same excitement, if they're not excited about anything. So yeah, this was a really I don't know, I don't want to call it a desperate survey, but I think that it was a very reactive survey.
But it wasn't. But and just like what you said, Michael, I think they could have saved themselves a lot of headaches by just giving people like, did you like the fact that it folds over? Did you like the do you like the computer? Do you like the torture chamber?
Check it off.
Exactly. Just get it in there, right?
Yeah.
All of the above, and then you do all the above, right?
Yeah.
But no matter what,
the Baroness asked a really good question. How far along are they? Is the design final? Is the price the only thing left to change? Well, I mean, the design, the playset looked done. You know, it was all, you know, produced, like molded out, like everything looked fairly finished to me. I don't know if there's any room for redesign at this point. I'm sure they've invested a ton of time in it. So maybe the price is the only thing left to change. But this is the picture that I think we all gasped at when we saw it during the panel, because the first thing they showed was the playset. We're like, oh, that's really cool. And then the next picture was this, and we're like, dear God, it's huge, right? And that was before we saw it in person. But seeing that it's almost the size of Eternia makes you stop cold for a second. And you're like, wow. And like you said, Jay, it folds up. There's options to shrink the size of it, as you see there, which is great. And I think that's wonderful that they thought of that. But again, my initial thought was like, oh my God, to me, the playset was really cool, but it was like a little too big. That was my initial impression.
The other thing is that what if you're going to read the room, right? I think all of us, when we saw the playset, we were like, oh, right. And then all of a sudden, again, for whatever reason, they decided to show this slide.
I don't think that did injustice.
There was a reaction from the crowd, which I don't think they expected.
No.
Or they were hoping not to hear that reaction. I think a lot of us literally went, like we literally.
I honestly think this was their world building shot. They were like, let's show Eternia alongside the snake there, not for size, but like, let's see how these two play sets look together. But actually, if you look at the picture, both play sets are hanging off the table. It's like, where the heck did
they couldn't even find a table long enough to fit both of them.
Yeah, you also have to remember too, this is a crowdfund, and this playset is not going to appeal to everybody. This is why they do crowdfunds. This is why they do exclusives.
Right.
You know, Danny, what did you think about this when you saw it?
The size, it was just it was bigger than I had thought it was going to be. Right? You didn't think it was going to be as big as Eternia, right? So, and the first thing I thought of, oh, that's going to be fun shipping, right? So,
right, because you guys live in Canada.
Oh man, yeah. So that the box is ginormous, right? That like you can fit a body in there. So anyway, but that's cool. The fact that you can fold it up like that, I like that. That feature.
Cool. Ship it this way. It'll be like
which we didn't see until afterward when it was on display at the panel. Then they told us that it can fold up like this.
And that I think is that I think is a big thing. Right?
Yes.
Lead designers in the house. What's going on, Lead? Good to see you, bro. That's I think the thing that really is something like in the next month or two, right? As the month goes by, or 3 months or whatever it is that they decide to, however long they want to run this for, they really gotta concentrate on the accessibility. Like how this thing can fit in your collection, because I think that was a big problem and a big concern with the Cantina. A lot of people were concerned about how the Cantina was gonna. And to their credit, the Star Wars team showed a whole video on how this thing can break apart, this thing can move, and like here's a regular IKEA shelf. You can actually fit it inside the IKEA shelf. That was a big thing, right? And I think that. It's not a miscalculation. I think that they, as Michael said, they wanted to show a world building scenario with the two new play sets right beside each other. But I think that the reaction that they got there was not the one they were expecting. And then immediately they were like, okay, that's immediate feedback. We need to figure something out. Right. And that's actually why I believe that this survey is actually going out, and why they really are thinking about where is the wiggle room. Where can we make where's it going to give a little bit, right? Because you're going to have diehards like me, and a lot of people are going to be absolutely in on this, right? But but it's everybody else's reasons, right? I mean, I'm not going to lie. My vote was, and I'm happy to. I already said it, but my vote was for the attack track and the horde tower.
Oh yeah, that was mine too.
Yeah. Those two were my choices.
No, I voted for the Snake Lair, but I voted for something that was the size of Grayskull.
You voted for the demonstration.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the illustration. But the Baroness brings up a really good point, because a lot of people are saying the same thing, that she's getting Imaginext vibes from it. And I don't know if it's from the bright green snake face that's on the front. It's really cool, but so why did we get that feedback from some people? Is it because of that vehicle that looks kind of like a sort of like a kitty toy, or what? Why did we hear that from several people? The Baroness is not the first one to bring up that point.
All right. Well, I've got a picture somebody sent me this afternoon, which actually is hilarious. I don't know if anybody else got this photo.
It is hilarious.
I thought it was funny. Did you? Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, I don't even have that up. But
you don't?
I can find it really quickly though.
I'm pretty sure I can find it.
I think it was in our DM.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
And you can buy it too.
I mean, I really love the big giant snake face, the green colors on it. And it's not to say, MOTU vehicles and places all have bright colors on them. I mean, look at the Talon Fighter, and a lot of the stuff that we have. The Origins playsets and vehicles and stuff are a bit brighter than the vintage ones were. So I'm okay with that. But there you go.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
Yeah. I was seeing these go around Instagram, so I found this on Amazon. But,
yeah, that's great.
I think this reflects that there might have been too many cooks in the kitchen for this one. They're like, okay, let's, we have this huge snake there. Let's throw this rattle trap vehicle that was only teased in a catalog in here, because that's a cool way to do it. But yeah, basically the snake lair is the kitchen sink of ideas. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to appeal to everybody. I'm still up in the air about this. I'm actually this picture gave me some hope that I was like, oh, okay, I can fit this somewhere now, which is great. So I think that picture did it justice. And I think you, Toy Sorcerers, were like, why did they put the dimensions of the folded up playset in the survey? Like, that would have been
yeah.
It's funny, because when they showed Eternia and they were doing all of those amazing, the live stream and like all the information on it, there was one dimension that they kept failing to give us, which was the depth. They told us how tall it was. They said how long the dang thing was. But what about the surface it has to sit on? How deep does that surface have to be? Is it a shelf that's typically 11 inches deep? Of course not. You're going to have to put this on a desk, or, like even my desk that's 2 feet deep is not deep enough for Eternia. Parts of it stick out from the back. So the closed depth of this is concerning, because it's so thick when it's closed up. So what kind of surface are you going to have to put in on a huge table for that to fit? If you display it closed, it's got to be a big square table. So that's a critical.
Yeah. Looking at it open though, it looks like it could fit on. Well, I guess I forget how wide it is, but at least the depth of this playset could fit on a Billy shelf. I'm not sure about the width of it.
But I think it's probably a bit too long. Was it like 34 inches long? The length was there, so they did have the length, and it's a bit too long to fit on a Billy, because that's 30 inches from inside to inside, which is one thing that disappointed me also on the just dropping a pin on it, the Haslab Rattler, because that thing's, I think, 33 or 34 inches long. It won't fit on your Billy bookcase. It's too long. It's gonna have to stick out partially. So I haven't packed this one yet because of that. I'm like, where am I going to put it? It's awesome. And the wings fold up, which is great. So you can fit it on your shelf, but it's too long. Guys, you need to make it a tiny bit shorter.
Yeah, a lot of big stuff. A lot of big stuff was revealed. A lot of cool stuff. Like seeing the Rattler in person was amazing. A lot of there's snake themed Rattler. We got the snake lair. So maybe there's a G.I. Joe MOTU crossover coming. Who knows?
And look at that transition I just did, because we got to keep moving. Right? We got to that's stuff to talk about.
I know. Yeah, I think we can probably talk about the snake lair for probably the next 2 hours. But but yeah, I mean,
what do you guys think of this?
This was outstanding, because in preview night this was just an empty display. So until after the panel, when they had launched the HasLab before, like an hour before the panel, which was cool. So somebody back it. We got to go down and see it in person, and I was very impressed by this lovely, beautiful vehicle. I'm very enthralled with it.
Yeah, it's beautiful, definitely.
It is gorgeous. And again, I have not backed it yet because I don't know where I'm going to put it. if it was 30 inches long or 29, I could fit it, and I'd move my his tank to put this thing on there. It's awesome though. It can sit on the floor, I guess.
I mean, it comes with a stand, so it's kind of like the Sky Striker, where it just kind of sits on a stand.
You can yeah, you'd have to angle it out off your shelf though, because it's too long.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
It'll fit.
Imagine the
I guess
size
we
of
can
the
get
box.
it that way.
You know, the box is going to be huge.
Yeah,
right.
I can't wait to see that stuff.
Yeah. It'd be like furniture.
The detail on this thing was incredible. All of the little engine components, the battle damage, the really cool like stairs, to get up into the plane. Just it was amazing. This is really cool. And Wild Weasel looked incredible, and the figures were awesome that this came with. And we got patches, everybody. The patches are unlocked.
Oh yes.
Michael's like, yes, patches.
That first tier threw me, and I was in my mind. I was like, the Star Wars Haslab people are like, "Oh, the Joe team's gonna get theirs now," but nope, it's fun. Even with patches, I wonder if they did that just to prove a point to the Star Wars.
They probably did.
You know what it was with the patches. I'll tell you what it was with the patches. The Joe team, they really are masters at pivoting, but they're also masters at reading the room. They know and have heard from the. I think it's also to listen to the fans, because so many times we said, "Look, stop surprising us with everything. We want to know what these tiers are. We don't want to have them hidden behind paywalls. Right. We don't want to have to get surprised, because that's what happened with the Rancor. We didn't know what we didn't know what the first tier was, and all of a sudden,
what you're in
for. Yeah, when they plateaued for like 2 weeks, they're like, "Okay, screw it. Let's
get rocks.
Go to the first tier."
And
all of a sudden, bang! Here comes the first tier. It's a bunch of freaking bones and a backer. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Well, that was the second tier. The first tier was actually the Gamorrean Guard, who we all had already, right? And then the second tier is like it was just insulting, right? That was the problem with that particular
bag of bones. It became a joke.
Yeah,
right?
It became a huge joke. But with this, not only did it become a joke, but it was a joke in the right way, because everyone was like, freaking patches? You talking about patches, right? But then right after
that
patches,
meme that went around, it's money. He's like on the phone. Yeah. I said hatches.
Exactly. Chaz the Guru, man, awesome guy.
Yep. Chaz is hilarious.
But right after that, the next tier on top of that is like a must-have figure, right? So everyone was like, "All right, screw it. I'll get on the patches just to get that figure." And that's the right way to do it. Show all the tiers. Get everybody salivating about the end goal, and then you're halfway there, and that's exactly what they did. Like, amazing. We don't need no stinking patches.
We don't need no stinking patches. Shout out to you, Paul.
Yeah, there was one aspect of the patches that I really liked. It was in the more the triangular one in kind of the lower right screen. So the original name for the Rattler was called the Tank Smasher, and so they had that kind of little Easter egg in that patch. So I really like that aspect of it, but. Aside from that, awesome. Like now I'm gonna have to get a bomber jacket, like to put these patches.
That's what I was gonna tell you.
I look.
I think they had a really cool one from Super 7 a while back when they launched G.I. Joe.
A hat would be pretty cool. You can put
yes, totally.
You can
put on a backpack and take it to SDCC next year.
Yeah, Danny would look amazing.
Right, of course.
Danny looks amazing right now. Danny's just dapper.
I like the whole Velcro thing.
You're gonna Velcro it on?
Yeah. You can change them up, right? Depends on the day, right?
There you go.
That's how it should work.
I'm feeling Cobra today. Boom.
I really like the considerations that they put into this. I mean, the fact that it can fold up its wings, right, which is very typical of the Rattler anyway. But I really like that because again, we have very little space to work with right now with all these gigantic freaking things that are coming our way.
Yeah,
they really did put a lot of thought into this, and bravo to the whole team. Like this is just incredible.
Yeah, just like even the bomb racks and just the amount of detail into the stack of bombs that are on the way.
That and like the lighting effects and just it's amazing. The thing is just incredible.
It's like, could this thing actually fly? Maybe, but no, with all those bombs. But man, the A10 is such a beautiful plane. Physics aside, like, you can't. The A10's wings don't fold up. They don't do the VTOL anyway. But we're not talking reality here. But a lot of cool effects. Even like the ammo, where you're feeding the ammo for like the Gatling gun. They thought of everything in here.
Yeah.
It really is an
exercise in back this already. I just honestly haven't had time to. I will. How about you guys? I haven't backed it yet just because I have been too busy.
Like
but
over
I will.
30 days or something like that. So you're good.
I don't know. Danny, have you backed it?
I think I backed it, a few times.
Did you have amnesia? Like a pre-order amnesia? I think I backed it.
FOMO, no.
You're gonna have like 5 of them coming. Oh yeah.
You need a squadron of 6-inch scale rattlers, right?
I just have this image in my mind, where they're all flying and so anyway.
If you see Danny, if you see Danny's house, there's not much room. I mean, I don't know where you
I gotta get creative. Somebody's gotta move out. But
something's gotta give, right?
Yeah,
she's within earshot. You got to be careful there, Danny.
I was.
Yeah. I was happy to see the Baroness, not the Baroness of Toys, but who I met in person, by the way, who was very, very pleasant, very wonderful to meet in person. Before we headed off to the airport, but very nice to see the Baroness have a new sculpt and new tooling with zero use of parts.
I've been told numerous times that this is the best facial sculpt for any female character in a very long time, and a lot of people are crossing their fingers that this is a pre-production sample, but that the final product will end up being as close as possible to this version. And I think a lot of people are hoping for that. Where are we? Like on that note, Michael, where are we right now? Like, are we?
I think we're at around 11,000 something. I checked it this afternoon.
Plateaued yet? Like how goes
see, it's somewhere in here, and there are the patches. And there's the tank.
There are the patches.
There's the patches.
Let's see. I have this. I think I probably have it at the bottom. I'm sure. Sorry for making everyone sick.
There it goes.
We are at 12,407.
Wow.
Oh yeah, nice. So the next tier unlocks at 14,000, which is the gunner or the extra crew member or whatever. So
Yep. And you have 39 days. Like, is this a super long crowdfund for Joe, because their stuff funds pretty quickly?
I think that's what it's going to end up being, right? It's like if I wonder if Brian Brink already has a chart up. It wouldn't surprise me.
He does. I think he does actually. I think GDL shared it on his screen last time. If you go to geekdadlife.com, there's usually a link to Brian Brink's charts on there.
So it's interesting. D Griff says that it passed. D Griff says it passed 12,000 today, but it's already at 12,400. So
this thing
is that's what it's at.
Incredible.
And I still haven't ordered the extra 4 yet, so I'm trying to do my part. I want to get all the tiers to fund. It's
Michael wants a guarantee here. This is
that's what I did with the
I got the chart loaded on my screen here. If you want to take a look at it.
I'm a fence sitter. I'm not gonna lie. I will sit on this fence until everything is done. I'm not gonna lie.
You were on the fence for a while for that Jurassic Park. Remember a fence for the fence.
I will keep telling you, like, unless there's an actual incentive to get off this fence, I will sit on this fence for quite some time. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Eternia, I waited till the absolute last day to get this. Okay, like I waited until the absolute last day to get this because I knew I could hold off for about 5 days. So that's just the way I am. Like, I will sit in that fence as long as I can.
Yeah.
Wow.
So here we can see the chart. So the Rattler is the red line, which is right here because it just started. So this was updated probably a few hours ago because it's at 12,229. And we can see the trajectory is following the same path as the Dragonfly, which is in green, and also the Hiss Tank, which is in blue. So they all kind of shoot up real fast, and then for a couple of days start to arc, and then sort of like plateau for a while, and then near the end of the campaign, they'll shoot back up again. So we're starting to get to that point where it's sort of flattening right here, or beginning to get to that kind of flat point, but it's following pretty much the same trajectory. Obviously the Hiss Tank was an incredible runaway hit, and I have no doubt that this thing will back all of the tiers and just make it to 20 some odd thousand at the end of this,
at least.
Yeah, I'm confident this. I imagine it's actually going to go much the way of the Hiss Tank. It's interesting because I guess people just love the bad, the baddies. I think that people really get into the baddies, and they something as classic as the Rattler. I think people have been. Well, we all knew what it was. Like they weren't exactly keeping it a secret. Like they were basically just telling us it's gonna be the Rattler.
Yeah, it's incredible, and huge shout out to Jay from Geek Dad Life. We got to meet him several times throughout the weekend. Such a nice guy. Met his wife. His family was there. They are wonderful, and thank you for access here to your website, Jay, geekdadlife.com, where there is a link on the front page for Brian Brink's charts. So be sure to check those out. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Yeah, there was a bunch of other stuff. I mean, I think everybody here probably saw our coverage of the live streams you did from the MOTU panels and stuff like that. But there were some other things that were super interesting reveals from panels that we didn't get a chance to go to, but they were some really cool reveals and something that we thought would be coming that would connect to the soon to be released Technodrome.
Oh my God, this was amazing news. We all saw, if you guys saw the Technodrome that snuck up on us on Amazon as an Amazon exclusive, at the end of the Technodrome, there is a pipe. And on the vintage Technodrome, that pipe connected to the sewer layer playset, the vintage sewer layer playset. Well, lo and behold, Thundercats Now actually was nice enough to send us these photos. He did attend the stream, or the panel, sorry, live there. And so we're getting an original sewer layer playset, guys. This is one of the holy grails of playsets for TMNT. So if you're a TMNT collector, I mean, you must be, going out of your mind, because you can get a fresh, brand new sewer layer playset.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Cool.
I didn't have any of these as a kid, and I wasn't even into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a kid, but I am now. So this is good news.
So, I mean, this is going to be so fun to display next to your Technodrome, right? So you have the Technodrome, you have the sewer layer, connect those, you put all your vintage turtles if you have them, or your classics, or what else looks really cool is those new remastered turtles. As a matter of fact, one of the items that we picked up while we were toy hunting at a Target at SDCC was the pizza thrower. And lo and behold, Michael, and I had a picture of it up there, I put the remastered turtles, and big shout out to Michael, who found me a set of remastered turtles when you were visiting your parents at a local Walmart. So thank you, Michael. That was awesome of you. I opened them up finally. I had everything piled in my toy room, but I set them up on that pizza thrower, and they look great because of their articulation. They can sit on there. So you can put your vintage figures. You can put the classic reissues in here. Those new remastered figures, they're all going to look great.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, and here's I think you included a look at the vintage set too, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is pretty much what it's going to look, right?
Yeah. Has a bunch of play features on it. You got the little fire hydrant, the turning telescope that you can see, outside of the sewer layer right there through that fire hydrant on the bottom sewer basement level, and the different rooms, and of course the telephone poles that they can like climb down from. So this thing's like a lot of fun, and it's just so classic.
That's
Total
really
classic 80s, 90s.
very cool. And then this mutant module, which is really cool. I've been watching the cartoons of late, and this is in them a lot.
Well, if you're gonna have a technodrome and you're gonna have a sewer layer playset, the baddies have to gav away to get to them. They got to drill through underground and through the sewers, and the only way they can do it, this is their ride. It's the mutant module, right?
Yes.
With that giant drill on the front.
I love that. What's the scale on this thing? Like how big is this actually?
The vintage one's probably about like yay big. It's the size of a regular vehicle. Maybe I want to say probably around the size of like a Talon fighter or something like that. It's like a mid-sized vehicle. It's not huge. Yeah, you can fit several figures in it. But that's a really fun one, and it's a classic one. Yeah. And it's great because if you have the pizza van, the turtle party van or the party wagon, now you have a vehicle for your bad guys.
Yes, which is cool. It's a kooky looking vehicle, and it looks like something. It looks like actually something it's like a cross between MOTU, G.I. Joe, and Turtles. It's like I think they've all used this kind of device. Like I think Skeletor used this kind of device at some point.
Yep.
G.I. Joe, when the movie came out, they had these like moles and these little pods that had this like drill bit on the end. So
everyone in the chat's like super excited about this. I mean, the fact that they're re-releasing, the Baroness is like really excited about the playset, and we got Smitty45, who's super excited about this. Jeffrey always has wanted a mutant module, so on our U83 as well. More excited about this than the Snake Lair, which is
I think he's talking about the
about getting these.
What's also notable about these is that thanks to Tidarian Hanger, we do know that these are actually like for those of you who collect the vintage play sets and toys, fear not, you're not going to be able to get these mixed up with the vintage collections because they're actually a tiny bit smaller. They're a tiny bit smaller. It's only like a 5%, maybe 5% smaller. So there is interchangeability, but at the end of the day, you will know the difference between a 1987 set compared to a 2024 set. So there is that to take into consideration, and it's just incredible that all these years later, that these play sets are being reissued. I mean, Playmates has reissued Turtles since the get-go. I mean, like the figures have come and gone. The original like two waves have just come and gone consistently for the last couple of decades. But the play sets,
and now they're getting deeper, right?
Right, that's right. The play sets of vehicles just
and we're getting Scratch the Cat, you guys. Scratch the Cat and Hot Spot. Those are
that's crazy. All the other prices. Just,
I know. Danny, do you collect TMNT? Are you into these?
Danny,
do you collect TMNT? Are you into these?
Do I 100%? I do the NECA Toon ones.
Nice.
So I got a bunch of those guys. I love the display, the NECA display at the show, Comic-Con. It was pretty sick with the wrestling figures, right? Yeah, so those guys are pretty badass. Looking forward to the villain.
We're gonna circle back to the NECA because there's one thing that like really blew my mind at the NECA booth. But before we change subjects off of the Turtles, we also had two remastered figures shown. I don't know if there were more shown, but this is what Thundercats Now sent us. We're getting a remastered Shredder and a remastered Rocksteady. So same as those 4 remastered Turtles with the added articulation. Those are the next 2 figures that they announced, and I'm assuming they'll be making the rest of the gang.
This is incredible. Mad Hatter did a full review on the articulated Turtles, and I think they have enough time to work on the ankle articulation because I think that that was a sticking point for Hatter. He was very very adamant that the ankle has to be fixed.
It needs a rocker. It definitely needs a rocker.
Something needs to be fixed on that rocker. So these look great though. I mean, like, I'm wondering if they'll have the eyebrows on top of the visor though. I think that is classic. I think they have to actually do something. If they don't do that, I think I'm gonna boycott it. I'm gonna boycott it. If the eyebrows are not on on the visor, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
Playmates
Look,
is
that
listening
is
right
awesome.
now. They're like, all right, design spec in. They
Here.
just send it in.
They are so much fun. And sadly enough, I had to pack away my NECA turtles to make room for that pizza thrower on my shelf. So they might have to be sold because I won't have anywhere to put them. Especially because now we're going to be getting all these new things. So yeah, I guess you gotta make choices when collecting.
Oh my gosh!
If you don't have room to display it, my new thing is they hit the road.
This is a great segue into this one, Mondo Lion-O Thundercats reveal. So yeah, I think you said it perfectly. If it's too big or you can't collect it, something's got to go, and this is definitely a choice right here.
lot of you know what, this is the problem with being collected.
So what'd you guys think of this? Like,
it was beautiful.
I had, you know what, Danny and I had to.
He looked gorgeous, but dude, what was up with Smurf?
It was another one of those secret reveal scenarios for us. We got to see.
Oh yes.
Is this just me, or did he look like one of those evil critters?
He looks like a little leprechaun.
Yeah,
It's like Smurf's look on his face. He kind of creeped me out.
Yeah. So it's the wash. I think the wash was a bit too heavy. But again, these are early prototypes, right? So I mean, I'm very excited about this character. Yeah, I'm very excited about this character. Snarf is a great, like anything else. Snarf is a great addition. He's like a Cringer to Battle Cat. You know what I mean? He's a little guy. But at the end of the day, this is the Mondo take on the Thundercats, and I think that really has to be put out there. But it's
gorgeous.
the love.
It was definitely
absolutely. But it's the love and the attention that they put into this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see, like, not just like they talked about Mumra, and Mumra. Oh my God, he's gonna be massive. He's gonna be like huge.
I think I hope he's
like 15 inches.
Something like that. Yeah, he's gonna be like at least Beastman size.
Yeah,
he's gonna be at least Beastman.
Yes.
Like Beastman is a big boy. Like he's a huge,
big chunky boy.
Huge chunky boy. Man. And that's, I think, what
are you guys in on any of these?
I can
no.
I am a Thundercats fan. I am a MOTU fan.
Jay's in it. He's in it.
I'm in. I just can't. I can't pass this up. I can't. I just can't. I don't know how far into the, like, if they start making like some really crazy characters. I'm not sure, but I need to at least get the Fab Five. You know what I mean? Like, I need to get at least the core Thundercats. You know, the first season Thundercats. I have to get those. Like, that's like afterwards. You know, Linkso, Pumaira, Bengali. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but definitely, I need to see what they're going to do with Panthro, because Panthro is one of my all-time favorites. I have to see what he looks like. Like, it's going to be crazy. It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, I was getting out of the Mondo 12-inch figures until they announced the Mondo 6-inch 2000X figures. I was like, I was going out and they reeled me back in. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, and they're going to be at a pretty high price point, but in order to be able to sell them, offer them as a much more premium figure with a lot of accessories, like they did on the Ghostbusters, because they made those like a 2-pack companion with the giant ghost, and so that they can, it was probably part of the deal as to how they were allowed to sell that scale.
So,
right.
Toy Bounty Hunter. That is a future J problem, but it's probably going to be I'm going to mortgage something. I'm going to like put my car up for, I don't know, something's going to happen because that is something that, like, I'm still waiting for the
Mondo Cats Lair. How big is that thing going to be?
It's going to be as my house. Like,
rent it out for,
it's going to be the garage. Like, that is going to be the garage. It's going to be absolutely
there we go.
I'll figure it out. I mean, that's a future J problem. We'll figure it out as we go along. That's a
yep.
So Neil brings up a really good point. They did touch on the 40th anniversary for She-Ra and Pop during the panel over there at Mattel. And of course, part of what was revealed was these awesome cartoon collection figures, which is She-Ra, Hordak, Catra, and Mantenna for the pop figures. And then, of course, we have Man-E-Faces and Ram Man all coming to the cartoon collection. But and then Voltar, I think it is. Sorry, he's kind of sitting out on the bottom. So there was, quite a bit of pop characters that were revealed at SDCC, and these cartoon collection versions of them look amazing. I mean, what did you guys think of these?
I thought they were outstanding. Like the Hordak looks amazing. Like he is the cartoon collection is mostly known for just like stripping away the details. Like he has so many details. Like even in the facial sculpt, I was like, how is this a cartoon collection figure? Right. I
know, and all the the little bones, on his head, on his chest armor, but yet he still has that cartoon look, right? Yeah. Like they captured it really well. So,
the red
with
teeth,
that maniacal laugh.
Oh my gosh, totally. What did you think about this, Jay and Danny?
Danny, you want to take a stab at it?
Well, Hordak was kind of what he stood out the most for me, and then She-Ra looked pretty good too. So, there you go. There she is.
She looks,
she was really cool at the panel, like being live, the voice actor, right?
Oh my
God. She was super nice, right? So.
Oh my God! And at the end, when she held up the sword, I almost got a tear in my eye.
Right?
She's like, "By the honor of Grayskull." Like I started to tear up. I was like, "Oh my God!" Yeah. And she did it in the voice.
She loved. You could tell she loved her job. Definitely,
Oh, totally.
You could tell.
It was such a great feeling.
I'm getting
it was such a great feeling being in that panel and listening to all of our heroes, and listening to them speak. It was amazing. I think with Hordak, one of the real reasons why he stands out so much is because the original Hordak design is very much a static kind of character. He's got his grays, he's got his blacks. And his head's actually molded right into his collar, right? Which is a big deal, because when you move around his head, his collar moves with it. So it's kind of this weird thing, right? Yeah. What they've been able to do here with this version of Hordak is incredible.
It's separated, right?
Yeah, I don't think
it looks like it's separate, like a separate piece there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I hazard to say I don't think the chest armor could be removed on this one. I think I might be wrong. I might time will tell. But the reason I say that is because the neck piece seems to be molded into the chest piece.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the chest piece has the neck piece attached to it, like it's all one piece of armor that clips on, and then that slides in over the neck, and you connect it on its sides, and then you pop his head on.
And that would be incredible. Right, but
which it looks like is how they made it.
Maybe again, there's so many different options, but in the promotion, not the promotion, in the design sheet that was actually shown at the panel, what I really appreciated was that you can actually change the head on Hordak.
Finally,
we actually saw He-Man's head and Skeletor's head in the slide. And I thought when I saw that, I was like, am I seeing that right? What is that? Right? And I just actually did not realize what was happening. And then it dawned on me. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Like we're actually going there
somewhere in here. Sorry for making it sick,
okay.
But there's a lot of stuff they revealed a lot of stuff.
They revealed a lot of stuff. And it was so great.
It was incredible. Oh my God, Rio Blast. Sorry. Rio Blast was freaking awesome. Oh yeah, this was cool.
Yeah. And he's got it looks like he's going to be coming with this mallet, which is awesome. Because again, Hordak is known for all those wacky attachments that he has, and
he turns himself into a missile. It's like, come on.
That's cool.
And you see how I'm saying the piece is molded right into his armor. Right, so Toys R Us, you might be right. It might be a flexible plastic. Yeah, it might be a flexible plastic.
Pull it up and off.
Just pull it up. Yeah. Similar to what Tila's armor is flexible. You can actually flex it out, right? And she goes up, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, because you can see maybe it clips behind these little.
Yeah, clips right there on the sides.
Here, possibly,
Yep, possibly.
I mean, how they get it on him anyway without that? So.
Yeah, because that's a regular buck that's underneath there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
Modulock, I was about to say Modulock. That blew my mind.
Not
like,
a
finally.
cartoon figure, although he was in the cartoon collection booth. So yeah, this is an origin.
Which is odd, but
Yes.
this is obviously his origins version, and he looks amazing.
Yeah,
he really does, and he's got. I don't know. Do you have the shot of the side of him, Michael? No, okay.
I don't, but you can kind of see it here.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, he's got the multiple legs, and then we took a couple crotch shots from underneath.
Yeah,
because you can see like all the legs. It's incredible how they put them together. But this is going to be a full modulock with all the parts.
Yeah, I think they took a lot of cues from Montana. I think Montana had a lot to do with his initial design. But the legs are 100% different. They're 100% all unique to Modulock. And it's just great seeing him here and finally realized. But as Toy Habits has posted on their website, they better get going on this because no releases in the month of August.
Oh,
they're in for a marathon. They're going to in for a marathon very soon.
Slow burn is what it is, and I think people are getting frustrated. And it's funny because as equally people are like, yes, they need to do a figure once a month. People are like, I need my wallet to take a break. So
yes, to take a break.
There's always the other side of the coin.
Especially after all those SDCC exclusives we spent money on.
What I really loved about this photo is that does this mean Chakotay is on the way? I mean, the seal of Chakotay is right there. I mean, like how much more of an obvious tell can you make? I mean, I think Chakotay's on the way. I mean, that's a proof positive right there.
That'd be amazing. I loved her in the classics line. It would be awesome to see her in Origins because she was a Filmation character. Like let's get these Filmation characters in their right scale.
Yeah.
I love this version of Ram Man. His face is hilarious. Like he has that silly, dopey look that looks just like the cartoon. Like they nailed it on Ram Man. I mean, he's wonderful. So
absolutely,
kudos to the Mattel team.
Oh, my favorite, my absolute favorite.
Manny Faces.
Manny Faces.
Manny Faces. Yeah, Manny Faces is great. Like they could release a lot of Manny Faces, and I'll just keep buying him. But
my absolute all-time favorite. Absolute all-time favorite.
Yeah, he's got like a popcorn bucket head.
Yeah, he does, right?
Yeah,
it looks.
That's how he looked in the
cartoon.
Yeah.
Right? In the cartoon, he's more like of a bucket.
Yeah,
his head was like this big bucket.
bucket.
Yeah, it's funny because these figures were not complete because it's still missing that pink tube that connects from his like chin down to that blue centerpiece. But it's kind of cool because you can imagine like spinning the top of his head to reveal those faces, and it's like that'd be cool if Mattel, like, because they were there for several days and they were changing some of the poses of the figures. Like, couldn't they turn the faces?
They should have, right?
But it's a missed. Yeah. It's not something that's really intuitive, right? Because again, you're not immediately thinking, oh, let's do this, let's do that. It's just new pose. So.
Yeah, and maybe they didn't have the other heads in there, so maybe they couldn't turn it. Maybe it's not a fully developed.
Given the missing piece, maybe not. Yeah, and also too, like look at the difference between the right arm, the right forearm, and the left arm.
It's totally different. Yeah, so that looks like kind of a standard.
But hey, I love seeing stuff in progress, which is cool, and it's awesome that they share this stuff in progress anyway.
Montana looked great.
Also very cool.
It's hilarious.
He's so funny.
Love that.
Look at this guy. So do you think his eyes are gonna pop out? They didn't show anything with
Oh, that'd be so cool.
We should have asked these questions to the people in the booth. Like I'm going through these pictures and I'm like, why didn't I ask this question? Why didn't I ask that question?
We absolutely had the opportunity. It's just there's so much going on. We just well, it's this ginormous snake layer in the middle of the booth. It kind of like overwhelmed your senses to ask about these figures. We're like, oh, they're cool.
Oh, it totally did. Yeah, I hope I hope he has the little poppy-eyed feature because that's what made him cool. That's what made him Montana. Was super excited to see Catra and her cat form too. That was outstanding.
Oh,
yeah, she looks amazing with her full cat form there. I mean, like that is really cool, and I'm wondering if that's going to be kind of a deluxe set, sort of like Prince Adam and Cringer. Although the cat's much smaller, but it's still a substantial piece. It's big enough where it's not going to fit in a regular MOTU bubble.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, totally.
So then you got to stop and think, oh, we're going to have a really cool, pop deluxe box, maybe. Who knows?
Yes. That would be neat. That'd be very cool. This was a surprise. So this was a Mattel Creations exclusive, and this was labeled as an Origins figure. And putting two and two together, this was before they revealed the 40th anniversary of She-Ra. And so you can kind of tell that this is the cartoon collection figure because the waist piece, like the belt, is not a regular Origins belt, and he comes with his little Zootron. So it's like no other Origins character would come with that kind of thing. So it was cool to see Voltec.
And those are small wrist bracers too.
Yeah. So again, they're putting some more detail in the cartoon collection, but the wings give you hope for future pop figures too. So there were also some winged.
I am wondering though if those are just temporary wings to give you an idea, because those are very similar to the Sorceress wings, and I'm wondering if they're actually going to eventually make more cartoon aesthetic wings, because those ones are pretty detailed. You know what I mean? Like, they look great though. They look great, but it would be nice to see some.
They have a precedent for sharing cartoon collection and Turtles of Grayskull parts, so it's like I think they're going to reuse anything that they can get, and they already have the Sorceress wings. They already have that, so why not just make them pink and call it good?
Are those the same as the April O'Neil wings that he has? Like, is that the same sculpt with the little flared out edges and everything? It could very well be that they're the same wings.
Yeah. But I mean, I would like to see it more in the in that Filmation version. But maybe you're right. Maybe it is Burry wings.
Yeah, very cool.
I think that was all for the cartoon collection, and then there was the whole like Mattel Creations portion of it. So these are all Mattel Creations exclusives. This is why they were in this section. So they were mixing cartoon collection, Origins, and Masterverse all together. Not sure why Extendar was there, just making a cameo. Maybe they just needed to balance out the
But the star of that whole display there to me had to be Rio Blast. I mean, I was just like, dude, I took so many pictures of Rio Blast. He looks amazing. Look at all those little like 6-shooter guns and stuff. And the stash. We have a close-up of the stash.
He's got a stash.
Toy Monkey makes a good point, actually, and I'm wondering if he might have a point. He might actually have a point.
I think Mattel mistakenly mixed Voltec and Modulux placed in their displays. It could be,
That might be because again, that was supposed to be cartoon collection, and then Modulok. It I'm not that I can't see him being sold. I mean, he could be a Target exclusive with his red features, right? But I could definitely see him more as a Mattel Creations exclusive. So I think Toy Monkey might have a point there.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I always thought if they did a Modulok, it would definitely be a Mattel Creations exclusive and not a standard release. Like that would be a huge miss because like if you go with the vintage box design and all the parts that it comes with, it's an expensive figure.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Renders effects. The intern had one job to do. One job.
Oh, I love that. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Renders are funny. Everyone's super excited about Rio Blast, but let's take a look at some of these close-up photos here because I really got deep into that. I got under his undercarriage. I was like, I really need to see that face. I mean, look at that face, and he has like a little bit of a snarl on one side. It's like, it's great.
He looks cool. Yeah, this was one of the figures that we were hoping to see. Like, we had no idea what was going to be in the booth aside from 90% of the stuff that we knew about already. But this was one of the 10% that were like, it would be cool to see Rio Blast there. And like, he was there.
So mint on card. I did not see how the backpack attached on the back because we couldn't get that far into the glass. But I'm assuming it's probably like the vintage. It probably has like 2 notches that you like click the backpack into his back to connect it to. But the fact that, you know, he's got all of these tool like openings in his legs and his chest. These are all this whole figure, besides maybe, you know, parts of his arms, is all new tooling.
Yeah.
And so that's incredible. This is I can only imagine what the packaging is going to look like for this. I mean, this is just going to be an amazing Mattel Creations exclusive. Like, what do you guys think of him? Danny, Jake, and Michael.
I like the compartment.
He's very similar. Sorry, go ahead, Danny. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I like the compartment in his chest. So that's cool.
I have one too, so I don't show it on
You got it.
because you know it's PG.
Michael, were you the model for this?
Yeah, it kind of looked like you.
Michael lifts, man. Michael lifts.
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it's very much on the same scale as or situation as Cyclone, and because Cyclone I think was very very much not so much new tooling, but his gimmick really did put a lot of emphasis on something new for the gimmick. One of the first real gimmicks and action features we've seen in a long time. So I'm really, really excited to see Rio Blast return with all of his gimmicks intact. It might not be a one push kind of situation, but it doesn't really matter. You know, it's very, very, very much looking forward to seeing how this guy's gonna turn out. He looks great.
Yeah, he looks awesome. And what I'm very excited about is it also opens the door for Plasmar, which is another Powers of Grayskull figure that never got to see the light of day because the line got canceled. So Rio Blast's tooling opens the door for that, and he's been teased on card art, so hopefully he's coming as well.
Absolutely, you know we're gonna get him. But yeah, super excited for this guy. I think it was my favorite of all of the reveals in the figures from the Mattel booth. What was your guys' favorite figures from the Mattel booth, by the way? And we haven't even touched on the Turtle and Grayskull ones yet.
Well, here we can do that now because there was a ton of.
I love the segue, Michael. We got to keep this show going, right? The star of the show here, to me, had to be Ninjor. So he was a freaking dragon, you guys. Ninjor looks incredible. I was over the moon on that one. And then poor Rattler, like he was really cool, but he kept face planting into the last phase.
Yeah,
they're gonna work on his engineering there.
Wanted to give a huge shout out to one of the celebrities who has just joined the chat and the stream, Mr. Home Arcade, for gifting 10 Toy Habits memberships. Thank you so much, my friend. So randomly 10 people in the chat will get Toy Habits memberships gifted to them courtesy of the one and only amazing, hilarious, and also very talented YouTubers and customizers, Mr. Home Arcade.
Thank you so much, Mr. Home Arcade. That was so kind of you. And congrats on your whole integration with the Flipper team and everything. And you're just doing amazing work. And Mr. Home Arcade, want to give a shout out to him because he has a knack of getting figures early, and then he sends us incredible in-hand images. So just a big shout out and thank you for that, because you make our job easier. So thanks a lot.
Totally. Yeah. Totally. A lot of cool repaints or just retooling of certain characters. So this one was held back until Saturday in the afternoon because I think it was part of a Paramount panel where they were revealing like a lot of 40th anniversary Turtle stuff. So this is kind of cool. It's kind of like a Snake Armor Raphael. Yeah. Yeah, he looks amazing. He's got and it's sort of a Snake Armor Raphael, kind of like that, with that little 2000X vibe happening as well. Yeah. So pretty neat.
I love the fact that if you go back really quick if you go back to the backing cards, that they're moving into the Snake Man arc.
Yes.
I really like
Yeah.
that. Like, you know,
Those look great.
we can see the Snake Man motif, which is very different
Mm-hmm.
from the first backing cards, which had He-Man and Leonardo on the top, and Skeletor and
the Snake Men are taking over still.
Yeah, it's great.
I still want Powers of Grayskull, but these look great. I'm just gonna say it. We didn't see that at the show.
They will come. Yeah, the Roy and team are just knocking it out of the park with the concept art right now. So yeah, definitely a work in progress. But if they come out like this, I'll be a happy camper.
Yeah, they look awesome. And then this was a snake armor version of Michelangelo, similar to like the snake armor Skeletor figure. And I can't tell. I guess those are kind of energy blasts that are connected to his nunchucks, or kind of like a net.
Yeah.
He's going out fishing. I don't know.
net snake catcher or something, but looks pretty.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And then this was the most I think toned down of the turtles that I've seen, just for a repaint or just another variant. But his weapons are cool. I mean, it's got like
he looks really good though.
Give somebody the hook.
Yeah, they're kind of like those snake tongs that you see whenever they just like pin them down, right? Or grab them from the neck and then reel them in. So they look really cool. There's a very much a capturing snakes type of theme that's going on here. Like the Mikey has the net. He's got the tongs.
The tongs.
I don't know what else to call them. Right? They're like it's like just a thing, right? But this one's just bludgeon devices here. This is crazy.
Oh, I love it. This is what the Demogorgon came with. This kind of flame effect. He has the coolest armor out of all of the 4 turtles in this wave, which is awesome.
Yeah. He looks
like
great.
That map that comes up. So cool.
Oh, it's like it's Snakehead.
Yeah.
It's got the little things on the top and
cool.
bottom of it. It's not just like a stealth mask.
That's nice.
That's very cool. This guy was a huge surprise, Clamp Champ. I'm very happy to see him in the line. I think it adds just variety to the line. It's like, okay, we can get several thousand of the turtles, but we need some more other characters in the line.
Yeah, he's got like a big giant snake clamp hand, or device in his hand. Yeah, so he looks really good.
Yeah, it also reminds me of who was that character? He was released in Masterverse for now the name escapes me. The original He-Man prototype. What was the name again? Because he had almost like a turtle helmet with
Vicor.
Oh,
Vicor.
Yeah, Vicron.
Yeah, with the different parts. Yeah.
That very much reminds me of the Vicron turtle helmet. I think anyway. It kind of looks like that. So really cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Mechanic was so it was interesting. So we got early information that Mechanic and Rattler were coming to the line, and I was like, what the heck are they going to be doing with these characters? And I was like, WTF, he looks outstanding. Like, they blew my mind with the reveal of Mechanic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Kind of hard to figure out which of the snake figures he's mutated with, but it's definitely a snake. It's kind of like Rattler's brother, really, when you think about it, because it's almost like his neck is coming out, right? So it's great seeing him like this. Like he looks incredible. I love they're getting really creative with their overall designs for these crossovers.
Yeah. When we saw the early booth image from whoever sent us that, thank you, before the con, I was like, there are some really cool things going on in the Turtles of Grayskull booth. I was like, I need to see that. It's what we made a beeline for right when it opens. It's cool.
Absolutely. And
all the designs of the armor with the turbines and just the amount of detail and just TLC that they're pouring into this line. The line must be doing really well, though, for them to be like even going down this line and doing all this new tooling too.
Yep. Yeah. It's incredible.
So we also got Rattler, which was cool.
He was leaning on the back of the wall because when I first went to look at him, I took a photo of him. He was like face planted onto the shelf. He couldn't
He looks
stand.
like he's doing bullet time.
Someone finally fixed him, but he was leaning back.
He's
So
doing
this guy has
bullet time effect. He's like,
balance.
Yo.
Like he's on, kind of stilts or something. Like his head.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to work on the engineering on this.
This is a big figure because his legs are bent, and he still looks massive. And so if you straighten those legs, he's going to be like 1.5 times taller than other figures.
Like the height of Krang, probably.
Oh yeah,
or taller. I don't know.
So cool, but also the mix of translucent plastics and just the color scheme works so well with this figure.
Yeah, he looks amazing. He really does. So
he really does.
He's very cool.
He is cool.
But
your favorite?
This one was my absolute favorite of all the
Ninjor.
Turtles of Grayskull reveals. Like, I love this version of Ninjor. Being a dragon like this, he looks so cool.
My gosh. Yeah.
And translucent wings.
Yeah.
Also.
What are they doing? To bring dragons into the line, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not outside the realm, right? I mean, dragons exist on Eternia, so it stands to reason he was near a dragon before he touched the ooze, right? So this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is like nuts.
I just wasn't.
It's translucent purple, right? His body, his actual body, which is so cool.
Yeah, I like the way that they're mixing. Like they'll take the black abdomen buck, mix it with some purple translucent legs with some red scaly forearms and hands. They're just doing a lot of creative stuff. New armor. The armor looks amazing, and that collar looks awesome.
Brian Woodruff says, looks so different. I thought it was Granamir or a mutant horde prime. I know, right? Big shout out and hello to our friend Ellison Troy, the Retro Toy Princess. Good to see you, Ellison.
But yeah, very cool. Yeah, we got some detailed shot. And does it look like his mouth is on a hinge here?
Yes. And look at the detail on his his teeth and his jaw, like the sculpt on that, and you can see the little chin, the chin fur or whatever. He looks so good.
Yeah, and even the neck piece, that's pretty cool. I'm sure you can stack those together like Mechanic and make an ultimate dragon. I don't know.
Yeah, they knocked it out of the park with this one.
They did. Danny, are you into these figures at all? What did you think about
somewhat this? I like the Turtles of Grayskull stuff a little bit more than the other stuff, right? Oh, nice. Yeah, because I'm more into the Turtles for sure, right?
Oh.
But these guys look badass. I like the it looks like he does have a hinge on the mouth there, so it definitely looks good there. And the Turtles themselves, they all look great, right?
Yeah.
So definitely gonna jump on these ones.
That's gonna be a hit. Like, he's gonna probably be really hard to get. And please, dear God, so Michael, you called out a couple of these being Walmart exclusives. Do we have any information on Ninjor?
No, so we don't know what the Target exclusives are at the moment. They just called out the Walmart exclusives, and you can kind of make it out down here. But if you look at the placard and the videos and stuff, or some other pictures, it is Shredder is a Walmart exclusive.
Okay.
Oh wow. Yeah, he's definitely one to get.
So it was Shredder and which one else? Was it King Hiss?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
On that.
Because those are the two I probably was at least going to buy.
Really?
You're good.
So I don't mind.
You're good, man. Mutant Shredder looks awesome.
Yeah, he really does.
He looks great, but I gotta start being picky on which ones I buy. So I won't be devastated.
Yeah. Oh, good, yo.
I know, right?
Right. But yeah, no, it's cool, definitely.
Yeah. King has.
They're really getting their money out of that snake.
Oh my God. Totally.
Everyone's turning into a snake, like everybody.
Throw the tail with everybody.
Right.
Yeah, no, that snake tail is like, whether it's merman or anybody who's associated with some sort of reptilian or fish or anything like that. It's amazing. They're really, you're right. They're getting the longevity out of that mold. for sure.
Yeah, just want to give a huge shout out to Black Genghis. Yes, definitely was a pleasure meeting you at Comic-Con. We actually talked about you a little bit, a lot earlier on the stream when we first began. But yeah, that was one of the highlights. Definitely was meeting you. So very cool. Yes, another Walmart exclusive being King Hiss. And this was funny because I think in the early shot that we saw before the preview night, you can kind of make out what this is. And I was like, what the heck even is this thing? This looks amazing.
So it looks like he has dragon heads on his hands.
Yep.
Right? On his hands. So those look like dragon heads. So they're working in the dragon theme more. And then of course the crazy King Hiss head. But the crazy thing about this one is that you can obviously King Hiss changes from human form into snake form. The human form here on this one is a foot soldier.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that surprised me actually. That King Hiss would end up being a lowly foot soldier. Like that.
It's kind of odd, right?
I wonder if it's a disguise, though. I wonder if he's just like, trying to blend in and all of a sudden, bang. I don't know. I guess the story will tell us, but it's just that thing where you have a leader like King Hiss, just slunking around like a foot soldier. It just seems a little odd, but definitely excited to see how that plays out.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think we had left Comic-Con before they threw the body of the foot soldier on. So this was the best shot I could find. I spent like 45 minutes trying to find something. I was like, I know somebody has a shot of this, but I guess somebody was trying to shoot it very quickly. But we can get a good idea. So yeah, but the turtles line looks amazing. And this is all coming spring of 2025. So there's a bunch of stuff coming in the spring with the cartoon collection. There's the Turtles of Grayskull line. There's some stuff from the Mattel Creations that are coming in spring too. So there's a lot of stuff dropping spring of 2025.
Get your wallets ready.
I know, right? Wallets will be ready.
So let's keep going and just take a quick look at what else we saw in some of the other booths because we're getting into
I did want to mention that earlier you asked which was the one that was my pick for the booth. As great as Everything Origins was, I do have to say that it's been forever, and I think all of us have been wishing and hoping and dreaming that we would actually see a more traditional version of Evelyn in the Masterverse collection, and finally, we're finally getting a new Eternia Evelyn, and I thought finally we're finally getting Evelyn as a the incarnation that everyone's wanted, and you know what, she's even looking better than a lot of us were expecting. It was just a real shock to see that she's finally
absolutely.
So
And just real quick, that's great. Big shout out to Black Genghis for the $5 super chat. Big shout out to Jay and the panel. Hope you guys all had fun. SDCC and a great weekend ahead. Really appreciate that, Black Genghis. It was great to see a new Eternia version of Evil Lyn. We also got to see new Eternia Fisto, which was cool, and new Eternia Flying Fist He-Man. And then we have new Eternia Beastman 2.0, which looks like he went on Weight Watchers because he's slimmed down.
What happened here? He's emaciated or something. He looks like he's lost. I think he even lost some height too. He's not like the new Eternia. The first new Eternia Beastman was fine. I thought that was
I don't know why we would need a second version of him. I think he was great.
I
was thinking maybe this is
he went on Ozempic,
yeah, absolutely. But I thought this was Son of Beastman. You know what I mean? Like I'm wondering what happened here.
This is what I do with these figures. Like this looks radically different than the first new Eternia Beastman. So it's kind of like a beast creature that is like either friends or pals with Beastman that you can just have together. It's kind of what I did with when they had like that really awful G.I. Joe movie, the Snake Eyes movie. Like the Baroness came out, looked nothing like the Baroness, but I bought one, and it's the Baroness's sister. So hey.
There you go.
There you go. That works.
I mean, this could be one of the other beasts that are, on the artwork that was like, dangling through the jungle behind Beastman. So,
Vex and Toys brings up a good point. Beastman Army Builder, right? So
there you
go. You can have like the big New Eternia chunky version, the first version being like the Beastman, and then here are Beastman's little minions that are split down and they haven't gotten as chunkified as Beastman.
Yeah. But what about this version of Flying Fist He-Man?
I like him.
He looks really good, and I loved his shoulder pauldrons with the lion's heads that look like the Eternia. That was great.
Yeah. They still got to figure out what to do that head. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know. The apple cheeks. The cheeks. Come on.
There's something going on there.
I was going to make a joke, and I'm not going to say it.
Something going on there. I don't know what it is yet.
The nickname we gave this head, but that's okay. We'll move on.
Fisto.
So, what do you guys think about Fisto?
Yeah, New Eternia Fisto, man. I love that Warhammer. That Warhammer is a must. I need that Warhammer. Warhammer. That makes the character right there. I need that Warhammer. He looks great.
Yeah. I love his alternate head because it looks like more classic to me rather than the aged. Yeah, that one. He looks really cool. So I think I'm going to display him with that head.
Yeah. Alex, I was hoping to get a reveal for the Dark Trooper from the 86 movie. I thought that was the army builder that they were going to be revealing, but no, it was the Skelcon. Which So
I'm fine with this. It's a cost saving measure. I mean, that is basically Skeletor with new armor and a new head. But I'm fine with it. They showed up in Revelations and the Revolutions. So I am more than happy to have this guy. He looks great.
And if you look at the sculpt in his head, like in his mouth, I think they're like little skeleton
They're little
heads.
skulls, yeah. It's so cool.
Really?
That is creepy as hell.
It is creepy.
It is creepy, right? I was like, ew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's little skeleton heads in his
I
mouth.
just chew on skulls all day. I'm just gonna.
It looks like a skull tongue, actually.
Yeah, I know, but still,
Yes. Now you can't unsee that.
Nope.
I cannot unsee it. It's impossible.
No, once you see it, it's done.
And then
Blade.
they didn't have a figure design for this one yet because they were still, I think, going through the digital renders. But he looks awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping that they release all of the movie figures plus more that we didn't get.
I feel so lucky that the movie figures are coming out. Like, honestly, for the longest time they wouldn't even acknowledge it. You know what I mean? Like it was pretty much done and buried. Now, out of like a miracle, like they're just starting to bring them out like crazy. It's incredible.
Allison says this creepy little tongue's coming for you, Mega J.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty freaking much. Oh my god. That's got give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, I know, right?
Allison, whoa.
The new Alien movie, anyone?
I think it goes a little bit beyond Alien at that point.
Oh god, yeah.
It's more like what's it called? The what is it? Hellraiser? I think Hellraiser is actually.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I think that covers all of the MOTU stuff, and they had some other of the figures that we've seen already in other parts of the con, but we wanted to also just show some other stuff that was there. Toy Sorceress, what are we looking at here?
So this is the Mondo Ghostbusters figures. I don't have it in front of me, so I apologize. I don't remember the name of the two ghost companion figures that come with it, but there's like a creepy pumpkin head guy and then the other big
Sam Hain. That's Sam Hain.
Okay, go for it.
Sam Hain. Oh, and the boogeyman.
The boogeyman. Oh my god. That thing gave me nightmares as a kid. That thing legitimately
that is creepy.
That is stay awake at night. That thing was, oh my god, that was one of the creepiest things.
He is scary looking. The figures themselves look great. Getting a cartoon version of the real Ghostbusters of these guys just look incredible. And then they have a companion ghost that comes with each of them. So that's awesome.
And the scale.
So they're starting out with Peter and Ray. Peter and Egon. and then I'm assuming they'll do Ray and Winston eventually. So, yeah, that's the
Cool stuff.
So they
I love
look really
that they're
cool.
doing
And these are
smaller
6-inch scale, everybody.
Yep.
So.
Danny brings up a good point. The scale is where things just change the whole game. I think that this is incredible. And it's funny how these actually came out of just a concept that one of the Mondo designers had just decided to say, hey, check these out, and then it just blew up on the internet. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible that they were able to that they're going to produce these.
When you actually think about it, though, this set is actually 3 figures in 3 figures a set. When you really break it down, like everyone's thinking, oh, it's 2 figures. No, it's 3 figures a set.
Yeah.
You actually get 3 figures in this 2-pack.
I think they're going to be priced probably around $100. I don't remember the exact price, but somewhere in that realm.
$202 each.
Oh, that's right.
$202?
$202 each.
Yeah. That was at the Toy Tubers Unite panel.
I guess I wasn't paying attention.
But
that's a lot higher than I thought.
That's like Mezco pricing, right? That's like Mezco pricing. That's like SH Figure Arts pricing, about $100 a figure. Yeah. Right.
I wish they would give the option to buy just the Ghostbusters themselves without the keeper.
I think that what's happening here is that I think Mondo's looking at their market and trying to figure out, because they already have people like myself, yourselves, right? Who are buying $230 figures, right? 1/6, right? Now they're trying to see and diversify their market into 1/12. But I think that they're thinking they're gonna dip their toe into this lake and see how deep it goes, right? Like are people willing to pick up $100 figures first, right? Because when you really break it down, these are $100 figures, right?
Oh yeah. That's why I'm a little shocked. I was thinking $50 a piece makes a lot more sense, but $100 is kind of high.
I'm not arguing that, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that the Super 755 for 7-inch scale figures is what a lot of people would hope for. But when you think about and not to knock Super 7, okay, I'm not trying to say anything outside of what we're saying, because we actually had a long discussion the other day. I think myself, Danny, and a whole bunch of others, that the factory has a lot to do with it. Your relationship with the factory has a lot to do with it. There's a lot of things that go into how the final figure will look at the end of the day. But I do have to say that Mondo's overall sculpting and their overall design, there's an aesthetic there that really works. You know what I mean?
They look incredible. That's like beyond a doubt. Yeah,
they like nail it on the head every single time. All their animated figures, all their realistic figures. There's just something there that just continues to hit every time, right?
Yeah,
and the people who are Mondo, like who just buy Mondo, they are loyal, and I think that this one really has captured a lot of people's imagination. I think that this one's going to go far.
Yeah, and then one more other thing I wanted to show before we wrap up was one of my favorite reveals of the show, and I think it took a lot of people by surprise, was at the NECA booth. So if we can scroll over to the amazing, and of course we saw Tony the Tiger, we saw some incredible Street Fighters, but these guys, the Sesame Street figures, I think a lot of us were really bowled over, and I don't know if you can get into the close-up photos, Michael, but these looked incredible. So we have Bert, Ernie, and the Count, and the detail on these, they look like they're wearing soft, but they're not. They're not soft goods. These are textured on their sculpts. Their sweaters, their little jeans, and even the felt that is made up of the Muppet, like how it's textured on that plastic, it looks amazing. So they did such a great job on these.
I have to say that compared to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Playmates texturing, I think they totally nailed this one, because it's not like acne scar skin. This is definitely, it's more like some sort of felt material, and what really gets me about these is I don't think I'll ever get used to seeing Muppets with legs. I think that's really something that kind of freaks the hell out of me. I'm like, these people should not have legs. They should end at the waist and just be done with it. But no, they put legs on them. I'm totally like my brain just cannot process the fact that they have shoes on. That kind of I'm like, shoes. The legs are the ones that kind of got. I thought they'd have fuzzy feet. You know what I mean? No, they got shoes on. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah,
here?
I mean, Super 7 made these characters in the reaction line, and they're very like they have a very cute, nostalgic, cartoon aesthetic to them. But these look like the puppets, like, and the fact that they give you the alternate heads with the open mouth and the closed mouth, with those looks on their faces, and then I think these are going to be packed with letters. Like each of them are going to come with a letter with like the little to like they spell the word NECA, but they had like little faces on them that were kind of like the letters that you would see on
there
Sesame.
they are.
Yeah.
So like they're reminiscent from the actual episodes, which I thought was such a cute little nod to the show. And I'm hoping they make that the lantern, the street sign, that would look incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know if it could come with one.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's actually a diorama piece which they'll sell later, because it's right there, right? And it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, these guys are gonna sit in front of my my Fisher Price playset.
I wonder if there's a world where they actually build a lamppost. You know what I mean? Where the base comes with the count, the midsection comes with Bert, and the top portion and the sign.
That would be a great idea, actually, Jay.
You know what I mean? I wonder if there's a world that can exist.
Like,
that'd be awesome.
Build a lamppost. Love
that. Build a lamppost.
Build a lamppost. Exactly. That's a really great idea.
What's really cool about them,
these surprised me seeing them at the NECA booth. I thought if anything we'd see them at Super 7 because they're already doing the reaction figures, and usually reaction leads to ultimates. But super surprised that NECA got these.
Yeah.
And
I also love the little accessories that come with, like the rubber ducky for Ernie, the picture frame, and
like the button collection.
Yeah, the button collection. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Those are real deep cuts. Yeah. Ultimates.
And the Count has a soft goods cape, which looks really cute on him.
That is so cool.
Yeah, these are great.
These are awesome. They hit them out of the park with this one for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that was great. So before we wrap up, just real quick, like 30 seconds, what was your favorite thing, each of you guys, that you saw out of Comic-Con? Could be anything.
Start with Jay.
Yeah, Jay.
Okay, sure, no problem. We don't have to start with me, but sure, no problem. Why don't we go ahead and do that? Honestly, the biggest thing for me was meeting you guys. Like meeting you, meeting everybody. That to me was just it was there's no price you can put on that. That was incredible. But if you're asking me what was my favorite thing to see at the convention, well, I'm gonna cheat a little bit because there were two things that really made this convention special. The fact that, and this is being very selfish, and I hate to do it this way, but I will say I will go ahead and be a little bit selfish today. The fact that I was privileged enough to be able to present, a panel with some of my friends. I think that was, just you can't. That experience is impossible. And then the fact that I could actually display something that I worked on at Comic-Con. I mean, not many people can even say that at all. That to me was immeasurable. I can't say enough about that. And I want to thank everybody for making that possible. Everybody, everybody who supported the Flip Art project, everybody who helped, Toy Habits for pushing and really putting the news out there, publishing leaks when they're not supposed to be published.
There's a great article on the production images, by the way.
It is actually. It's a wonderful article, leaked by somebody. But no, I'm just kidding. But there's all of that. But in terms of like what product really was a top of mind for me, it wasn't even there. The Thundercats and MOTU crossover, that to me just blew my mind. I mean, those two properties are so close to my heart. In terms of like my overall fandom. If I got rid of everything and only kept 2 properties, it would be only kept 1 property. It would be impossible for me to choose between Master of the Universe and Thundercats. I would have a hard time letting either one of those go. So the fact that 2 of them can actually now combine together, I'm done. I can actually let go of the stuff, because I can now just collect Master Universe and Thundercats as a property together. So they've solved my dilemma of if anybody asks me, what would you take with you on a desert island? You can only take 1 toy line. I'd say done. Master Universe and Thundercats crossover. I'm done. The miracle has happened. It's actually coming. It's coming soon. So that blew my collective mind right there. I was literally beside myself. So that's what it did for me.
That's awesome. What about you, Danny?
And you guys should be proud, as Alex Valdez says, of what you guys did at the show. That was just incredible.
Just insane.
And
really
Danny,
crazy.
what was your favorite thing that you saw at Comic-Con?
Oh, it's a good question. There was so much. Besides Michael and hanging out with you guys, right? One of the biggest reveals, I guess, for me to see was the Jada toy stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of the Street Fighter figures and the stuff they're doing, right?
So
even like
cool.
the Tony the Tiger and all that, right? So to see every day they were revealing a couple new figures and stuff. So it was a cool surprise to see the new ones every day, right? And then there's a Transformers crossover with the Knight Rider thing, right? So
that went up for pre-order yesterday, right?
Yeah, man, I saw that.
Did you order it?
Of course. I had to.
And I don't collect Transformers, but I had to get that one.
Right? Like that's one we've been asking for like forever. Like, what are you gonna do the Knight Rider?
It has lights and sounds. Come on.
They did a good job. It looks really good, and so definitely didn't hesitate on that one. And that was a huge one for me. The Jada toys, even the Mondo stuff. So like overall, just very cool. Like, it was a bucket list kind of scenario for me. So I can mark that off now, and it was really cool, being with Jay the whole time.
Yes.
And just like being seeing you guys in your environment. I feel like it's my environment too. Like, we're all just kind of in our,
on our beds in the motel room waiting for pizza. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Waiting
for Jobins and our pizza.
That was the greatest night ever. Seriously, that was that night. That night will live in our collective memories forever. I saw Toy Sorceress literally getting hangry. It was awesome. She was literally like, if he ever shows up, he's dead. And I was like, easy there. Easy, Toy Sorceress.
And then his look on his face, he just like handed her the box, was like about to slump over. And then you're like, who has plates? Who needs plates?
He knew he effed up. But anyways.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Great night. It was a great night. It was
so much fun. It was a blast. We really bonded and had a great time. Michael, what's your favorite thing you saw and your last thoughts on SDCC?
Yeah, no, I want to share Jay and everybody else's sentiment of just like being able to hang out in person was the best part, and just not only meeting you, but like everybody that we met there was super special. But I'll do a little show and tell. So actually, my favorite reveal came from the G.I. Joe panel, and it was the Cobra Claw, because I love that vehicle. It's a very small form factor vehicle for the classified series. It gets into the world building of G.I. Joe that the classified series is sorely missing right now, and so I was excited about this reveal personally. So what about you, Miss Toy Sorceress?
Well, the highlight of the show was getting to meet all of you guys in person. Like, when I finally gave Jay a hug in person for the first time, and the fact that you caught that on tape was so special to me. But like, I just had such an incredible time hanging out with you guys, just bonding, creating memories, getting to meet the rest of our, our viewers there, people from the industry, fellow toy tubers, but just hanging out and just creating all of those amazing memories that's gonna live in our lives forever is just so special that we got to take part of that together. I think that was my favorite part of the con. It was exhausting. It was a lot, but just a blast. And we got to see so many incredible things. And I did way too much toy shopping. You guys only saw like a smidge of my toy hunting. My favorite toy that I saw at the show had to be that Bert and Ernie, because I love them and they just look so cool. Amazing things we saw in the MOTU booth and everything, but like, you know, again, pulling at my heartstrings because those look like, you know, like the actual Muppets in plastic form. And then of course I picked up these two vintage ones that, you know, Mark called his babies, and now they're my babies, and they're going to be sitting next to me. I love them. I had a blast. I picked up, you know, some amazing vintage toys from my childhood. That Fisher Price set that I got, that place, the Sesame Street play set. It was one I used to play with in my childhood, and me and my sister, I have a fond memory of playing with it. We were in the backyard in this clubhouse we built out of cardboard, and we were playing with the play set, and we found like this big hairy spider in it. And of course, we're two little girls. We're like 4 years old or something. So we freaked out. We ran inside, spider, whatever. I never saw the play set again. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if my parents threw it away, but I was like devastated, right? And that stayed in my memory to this day. And the fact that I was able to track one down again, and now I have it in my toy room, was really special. So, and I got to meet, you know, Mark Huckabone, which he's such a sweet guy. So that was a fun experience, getting to see him. Of course, knowing him from being on the TV show and Toy Hunter was super cool. Talking to Jordan Hembrow on the phone, because I couldn't come down, but you know, because I used to watch the show all the time too. He's such a nice guy. Just so many amazing memories, and you know, we have to do it again next year. And you guys are a cracked up. Getting to spend that fun time with my husband as well. That he got to experience the whole Comic-Con thing with us. You know, all of us hanging out, and it was a blast. And Michael, getting to spend that amazing time with you, because you came down. We spent like a week together, right? You know, several days early. We tore up LA toy hunting together. Hung out at the house. Ended up eating meals at crazy hours because just one thing or another happened. We got to chill out at the pool one day, which was nice. And just we had a blast hanging out together, and then doing our last stream together in person in my room here at the desk. That was really cool, and it's priceless. And it was, like, I called it a CDR moment because it was so cute, like us sitting together at the same screen. All of these memories I'm going to take with me. They're all part of the Comic-Con experience. So thank you, the both of you guys. Make sure you check out Mega J Retro on his channel. I'm sure you obviously know. And also Danny, let them know, each of you, please let us know where our audience can find you guys. Danny, you go first, and then Jay, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay, so you can reach out to me through Instagram at Danny Green Collects. I'm also an ambassador for Titan Toys, so you can reach out to me through Titan Toys channel. Here it is.
Can you do the Titan Toys thing that you say?
I don't. Yes, for sure. But
it's impressive.
You know what? You can find me at Titan Toys.
There you go.
That's it. I had to make you say it, Danny, because we were cracking up all weekend.
Of course, man. I don't know how many times I said that, and how many times I heard Michael say that. So I feel like I have a fan now.
I'm your biggest fan. So
you're my biggest and my first.
Had like a little pull string, Danny.
Oh my gosh!
What a good time, man! You know, I don't mind. I'll play that for you any day, man. I'll say.
Let's do it.
You know,
that'll be your next project, Jay.
100%, right? But I definitely appreciate it, guys, and yeah. So can't ask for any more. You know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Jay, of course, take it away. Where can everybody find you?
That's gotta be the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. A pull string Danny Green. That I would. You know what? I'm gonna make that happen. I'm gonna.
You need to.
I'm gonna talk to Hatter. We're gonna make a pull string Danny Green toy. That's gonna be freaking awesome.
Yeah, I'm down, man. You know,
I will kickstart that. Absolutely. I'll back that. I'll back that myself.
There you go.
With the pull straight,
That
the
works for me.
toys. Okay.
That'll be freaking crazy.
And then the laugh.
Oh man, then we got to
man.
Titan. We gotta get that. We gotta get that. Yeah, we'll talk to Titan.
I'm ready to party, guys. Let's do this. Let me know when.
That is like the greatest thing that has to be made. That has to be made. I think
I appreciate that. I would die if you do that. But anyways.
Please don't. But
no, but you know what I mean. With but
all right, Mr. MJR, Mega J Retro.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, thanks for everything. First of all, I want to thank Toy Sorceress and Michael for inviting me to and Danny to hang out here tonight. For me, guys, first of all, guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to toyhabits.com, Toy Habits on YouTube. Like, that is the reason why you should be that's where you should go subscribe, because honestly, if you want the latest and greatest in toy news all year round, as it happens, because they're typing right now a new article. Like, they're like, you can't see their fingers, but they were already working on the latest article. I'm not even lying. You can turn the camera around. You can actually see them working on this article, because it's fresh off the paper, right? Don't deny it either, you two. So basically, guys, if you want up-to-date news, all the links to everything that they report on, because they know where all the links are, they know where everything is. So you have to be subscribed to toyhabits.com and follow them there, and follow them on all their social medias. That's where you have to do. You have to actually subscribe if you haven't already, which I'm surprised you haven't, because we're watching right now. But everybody, please like, comment, and subscribe on this video, that channel, everything that you can. And if you happen to be, interested in some other news, please check out Mega J Retro on YouTube. You guys are going to have fun, no matter which way you go. And of course, please check out Danny Green Collects on Instagram, and of course on his new YouTube channel, which he's going to make very, very soon. He's the next big upcoming thing, and he's going to have his own pull string toy, for crying out loud. It's going to be freaking great. It's going to be awesome. Thanks again, Toy Socials. Thanks again, Michael, and thanks, Danny, for coming with me, guys. This was one of the best. This was the best Comic-Con I've ever been to. Like, bar none, there is no contest. Thank you guys for sharing that with me. It was absolutely crazy. And of course, thanks to the Toy Habits crew and everybody out there. You guys are absolutely killing it. Thank you guys. You guys are the best.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody. Michael, do you have any closing words before we sign off?
I was gonna say, Toy Sorcerer, take it home.
All right. Well, I want to thank Mega J and Danny for being our guests. You guys were amazing to hang out with. We had so much fun, so many great memories. Thank you for being on our show. Follow Danny on his Instagram. Follow Mega J on his YouTube channel. Follow us on our YouTube channel, and of course at toyhabits.com. And check out Michael's Instagram as well at Toy Habits Michael as well, because that's where you're posting your amazing toy finds and stuff like that. And I just want to give a huge thanks to all of our crew, all of our viewers, for all the support, for being out there, for following us along on our craziness at SDCC. Because next year, I promise you, it's going to be a lot smoother. We'll have better equipment and all of that kind of stuff. But at least we're trying to get the information to you. So thank you guys for everything, all your support. And it's been an awesome night. And we will all see you next time around.
Definitely. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.